Whew. What is going on, brothers? What is going on? It is your dude, Mr. International Passport, here again for yet another classic, future classic live stream. Um, First and foremost, before I say anything further, how is my audio? Pooh, can you hear me loud and clear? Am I good?
Yeah, you're good, man.
Awesome. If you can hear me in the live stream right now, press a one in the live stream. If you can hear me loud and clear, press a one in the live stream. In the live stream, if y'all can hear me loud and clear. How's my audio, my fellow guests? Am I good? Let me know right now, please. Let me know right now. Who's here? Okay. Press a one in the live stream chat. Is the audio good? We got 15 people watching so far. Can y'all press a one in the chat if y'all can hear me? What's going on? Jane in the building. Thank you, Jane. Shaq Fu, awesome. Let's get straight into it, man. So appreciate the confirmation of the audio. I want to say welcome aboard the new people. I accept and I embrace you with open arms. Shout out to my old viewers and subscribers for the support. Much appreciated. When you come in tonight, please like the video. Y'all got to hit the like button. That's very important. Apart from that, go on the Patreon too. We got explicit, raw, X-rated, unfiltered intel on how freaky South Korean women are in the bedroom. So go and check that out. Aside from that, brothers, aside from that, um, book your IT consultations. You want to get into IT or want any tips about getting into IT? Book your consultations with me in the Kindly link in the description box below and within the link tree. Um, Cop the merch too, okay, brothers, to show some support. And tonight, hit the super chats and PayPal donation and show support any way you can. If you have any questions, you must hit the super chat and PayPal donations. PayPal preferably, as YouTube takes a 45% cut of each and every super chat. So let's get straight into it, man. Today, brothers, I got a very special guest here called Mr. Pooh, who is currently out there, boots on the ground in South Korea. Okay. He's here to break down some news. Okay. Some some news that will shock brothers right now, passport bros, in regards to South Korean women. Okay. The title of the stream is called South Korean Women Have Eaten the Devil's Fruit. It's a very powerful title. Now, some of y'all have seen One Piece, right? The anime. Okay. And it's a reference to the devil's fruit there. But in this time, right, the devil's fruit within the matrix isn't a good thing. Okay. So Pooh is here to give us nothing but the truth. Okay. This may shock you, this may not shock you, but um we're ready. Pooh, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm here to fight another day. Really don't feel like fighting, but I'm built for it. So yeah, man. I'm boots on the ground. Of course, I'm here in Pyeongtaek, South Korea. Nah, not too far from the base to give y'all a little hint on what's going on around here. But yeah, yeah, life's good. I really can't complain. My health is in order. Money's in order. Things are looking up.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. So, brother, let's get straight into it, brother. If you can please give us a brief intro about who you are, where you're from, and what's your history and love in South Korea before we get into the meat of things, brother. Break it down for us.
Yeah. Well, I'm a father of two. I two little half South Korean kids. Their primary language is Korean. I've been in Asia for a minute, about 10 years now, between Okinawa and in Korea. I was a military guy, so I did about 11 years in the military, um, and I ended up getting medically discharged out. So I got 100% disability. So that's dope. Got my education together. All my background was military. My dad's military. His dad was military. My mom's father's military. So it's it's just how it's how we roll. And then I work for the military right now. Now that I'm out, so I'm a contractor. So I do my thing over here. I'm able to move around the world. It gives me a lot of time. So it gives me a lot of time just to check out Asia, see what's going on, get into the culture. It's very important a part of my job. because I work in the housing department. So I have to work with realtors all the time, deal with other Koreans constantly every day. So it's, I mean, it's really a part of my life just to be here. It's something I have to work on every day. My Korean, how I read, how I write. So yeah, I got a lot of experience. I definitely fell in love with Korea maybe about 8 years ago when I first came here. The hardworking culture, loving each other, sometimes to a fault. How much they love each other, they won't fight amongst each other, and especially in front of other people, in front of strangers. I just loved it, man. It just got my creative juices going. Started looking into business, started looking into more networking, and of course that's a challenge. Must know the language, but yeah, man. Yeah, I'm here. I mean, that pretty much covers it.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So let's get straight into it, bro. Okay. The title tells a lot of stories, all right, but we want to hear it from you, brother. Okay. The Matrix, South Korean woman taking in the devil's fruit. Brother, something is going on in South Korea that we have to tell Passport Bros. Okay. Now, maybe you want to go from the good to the bad, brother, or get right into the bad, brother. You are boots on the ground. What is going on with South Korean women in terms of the dating scene, body count, feminism, right? We know that Western women ain't no good, all right? But as that toxic Western culture, right, destroyed South Korean chicks, brother. Can you break it down for us, brother? The whole 9 yards, please.
The West, the West has been here for a while. Ever since we we moved into Korea, their influence has been from our culture. I say culture. I guess you can say it's American culture or American ideology. Then it became pop culture, which is, we all know that's Black culture in the West. No matter, they can deny it, it's pop culture, and that's ours. That's our thing. So you can sprinkle as much frosting on it as you want. That's us. That's ours. So then there's the effect of Japanese culture, and then wanting to be the lead in technology and information. The Wi-Fi is top tier here. Of course, you've been here before. So when it comes to information, the Koreans get it very fast. There's a downside to it. There's been a downside. Everyone's on Instagram. Everyone's on the social apps. So they're able to get information very fast, especially from the West. They find us very interesting. Problem is, what has affected the West, Instagram, Facebook, anything on media, movies, it's now becoming a part of the culture here. So there's bad things and there's good things. I'm going to tell you mostly about the bad. It's because Korea is near and dear to my heart, and it hurts to see it. But since I've gotten off the plane, I guess I haven't officially give you guys the news, but everyone knew I was married man, crazy about his family, working hard, trying to get back to Korea to get onto this job. And here comes the West. Here comes, your modern day information, your modern day thought process, ideology, your modern day woman entering my house. And when I get home and I see my Korean wife, I'm happy to see her. And I can't help but notice there's been a few changes in her physical appearance. And that was the first alarm. And then things she was saying to me. I'm a very traditional man. I work really hard. My wife was not working. She didn't work a day since the day I met her. She didn't work. So it was primarily on me. It was up to me. And so of course I help with the kids. I believe in 100, not 50-50. We're going hard. Y'all still hear me, right?
I'm here, bro. I'm here. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So, so I started noticing a few things. She said things like, she wanted more command over the money. Red flag. Here it comes. Red flag. She's not working. Then again, I'm working. I gave her a little bit of more leeway over the money, and I guess it got good to her. She didn't have to just pay for essentials, taking care of the kids here and there, and buying herself a purse here or there, and taking care of herself. It became more, she wanted more. It got to the point when I was ready to, assume my position. I got home as the man of the house, as her husband, as the person that says yay or nay. She was not ready to give that up. To the point, all I heard was her talking about her happiness, and she would be happy if she had more money. She would be happy if I didn't rule over what, where she was going, what she was doing, who, the some of her friends are kind of tacky. They kind of out there, like being in the gym, like being on Instagram. I wasn't feeling that. Do you know that's poison in the well for later down the line? I was trying to protect my family. She wasn't feeling that. She knew how I felt about Instagram. Something said, hey, look for on social media. I was not aware of this. She's a mother of two. I expect to see family pictures and, funny things. Nah, it was now pictures of her. She got a few, a few jobs done. Let's just put it like that. She got a few jobs done while I was gone, looking for work, pretty much, tearing my body apart, working for my family, and also finding a job, trying to find a job in Korea. So she it was very apparent to me when I saw her Instagram that she had her main interest wasn't being a mother anymore. It was definitely the likes, it was definitely the emojis that were running her life, and her need to be happy, whatever you call that. Whatever her need to be happy became more important than her need to be a wife and her need to be a mother. And of course that's a problem for me. As a person who works hard, puts his head down, and just grinds. I mean, it's already hard living here, and now I got this. So when she's telling me these things, I'm already like, you're out. I can't. Life is short. I see how much money you spent. I see what you've done to your face and your body parts. You're out. It's nothing to be sorry about. It. She's a modern woman. Now I got to be a modern man. So I can't play with my resources because it's all I got. It's what I have to offer according to everyone's ideology. What do you bring to the table, right? That's the pressure on us. What do you have? My time to make money is extremely valuable. She's blowing it on herself and not taking care of the kids properly. And then she wants this freedom. And then when we're like, hey, we're going to separate, the demands out of me were very clear. She wants to live her life and she wants to be out there so she can take her ass out there. And I'm fine with it. It's something in me. I don't know if it's grinding, fighting for, looking for a job, fighting to be successful in Korea away from the States. Cause I was among like 4% of people picked to even take a job over here in Korea, because it's a small country, it's a small amount of openings. So I guess it hardened me in a way because I didn't lose a tear, not a tear. I felt for my kids, but I was like, you guys are gonna be all right. You guys are gonna be taken care of, even by her. I understand that, but I was like, man, I need to go collect my money. And that's a whole nother story that I'll give you guys as far as how I'm going to collect my money. But I love being in Korea. Number one, it's not the Matrix. It's not the West as far as the court system goes. Because so what she's taken, what she hasn't done, they will be reviewing that, and they look at us as even. Nothing just goes to the woman anymore. And it was almost profound when I talked to my lawyer. Yeah, grabbed the lawyer real quick on her. But as I talked to my lawyer was like, hey, this sounds crazy. So you did all the work? You did all the work, and she thinks she can take money from you, and she didn't work? That doesn't make sense. I was like, go tell somebody in the US that. We've been screaming that from the rooftop. This is a woman telling me this. She's like, this doesn't make sense. She hasn't done anything. It's, you know, she's taking care of the kids, but no, there was nothing financial that she added to the table. But she wants a lot. She's got a big house that I paid for. She's got a Range Rover that I paid for, and this brand new body, that she decides she wants to get in her mid-30s, bro. It's like the doors closing. What are you doing?
Damn.
You are at the wall. Welcome, because you're at the wall now. You have walked your husband out, pushed your husband out, however you want to put it, and all I see is nothing but Western stuff. Her music. She's got a nose ring. I was like, yo, when'd you get that? She got herself a tattoo while I was gone. She hung out in Gangnam, and I was like, how? Like, there's like 5 surgeries in 8 months I was gone. I was only gone 8 months. 5 surgeries. She's been under the knife. I have no use for that. I'm an old school guy. All right. So I grew up the old way. I was watching Good Times. I wasn't like my other friends. I was I believe in doing my job, and then you do your job. We do 100. If I'm available to do the clothes, the dishes, that's how we're going to do it. And she played that role until I went away. The law went away, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna do what I want. Especially now I got a taste of how much money this guy's making and what this guy's willing to do. So that's that. Poof, gone. My marriage. Right now we're in the middle of a court battle that she's going to get spanked in. And then I get to have almost everything back. Approximately like 60%. So I can thank her for saving my money for me. Now I'll be taking that, and I'll take that as a foundation of my wealth to my next phase of life. So that's the marriage part. And as far as dating, we can continue that. If you have anything to say about that, IP, it's a mouthful. It's a mouthful.
Damn, I've got a question there, brother. Before going to dating, right? So you were away for 8 months, brother. You were telling me that the matrix got to her, brother, while you were away. So it was a complete different transformation in that 8 months. You come back, a new person, completely different, meet you at the door, brother. So it takes 8 months when the man is not there in South Korea for the matrix to get to a mind state. What?
This is what I believe, because I had just gotten to the States when I started talking on your channel, and when I was grinding, trying to do applications to get back to South Korea, because I wanted to work as, of course, I'm former Air Force. I want to work for the Air Force in South Korea. So what I truly believe, it was always in her. It was always there. I got little hints over the years that it all kind of came to, it was like an aha moment. Like, oh, like one thing that stands out to me, she's going on a little lunch brunch thing with her friends in our apartment. And we're driving a vehicle that, it's just like a family van. It's paid for. And so she doesn't, that day she decides she doesn't like it. She went out and financed a vehicle, my money. So it's her credit, my money. A Range Rover.
What?
The day before. It didn't hit me. I was like, yeah. Like, why did you do that? First, I was like, why'd you do that? Like, we were good. And her explanation, we've been working really hard. I've been working very hard. So we've been working very hard. I always wanted a new vehicle. I thought it'd be, it'd be cool if we got one. I know you like the Range Rover. Yeah, she applied to my ego. Yeah, you've been doing so good. You're like this. So I thought it'd be cool to get this. And then the next day she takes her friends out to brunch. It was nothing but it was a flex, which is, I mean, there's small flexes there. This is Korea. And so everyone knows that it's the Joneses. This is what we got. So when they find out she's with a black man, they're like, why? So she's got to show them, right? Because she cares only about what they think, not about our future, not about how we're going to do later on, right before COVID hit. And and I'm working, and it forces me to work remotely. So she's not thinking about that stuff. She's not thinking long-term anymore. But it didn't really hit me at that time because I was so busy grinding. I always had to put my head back down. Okay, let me get back into this, because my belief is, in order for me as a black man to survive in Korea, I got to make this amount of money. So those are my personal goals. So she took advantage of my work habits, and I was working like 16 hours a day. Between doing remote work and also teaching kids English at an academy. She took full advantage of this. So I was like, all right, the car, no big deal. It was a big deal. Number one, that's an $80,000 vehicle. All right. That's an $80,000 vehicle. But I excused it and didn't, I didn't check her for it. So that's on me. So once all this stuff comes out and she's like, I just want, money's a big deal. And, I want this amount of money if we're going to be separating. And I still want to be able to drive this type of car. I was like, excuse me, that comes with a man. This type of car, she's looking to upgrade. So, let's get a Discovery next. Girl, didn't I tell you? I got the lawyer. So so there's no upgrade in your life. It's time to get back to the back of the line. In your mid 30s, girl. In your mid 30s, it's time to get back to the back of the line. I'm coming up. This is why I'm not upset, because I've been so hung up on my career. I'm about to start this new this IT program for veterans. And I'm getting ready to do all these things. So I'm hyped. I'm like, I'm so high up. Nothing can take me down, not even my woman tripping. I get rid of her, I get a new one. This is Korea after all. Unfortunately, my kids got to go what they go through. Grown folks made their decisions. That's how it is. And yeah, I just saw a comment. Her friends changed her for show. Yes, please believe it. Her friends who she hung around with before I left, and I checked them. I was like, hey, these girls over here, they're married women, a couple of kids, and they're sleeping with their trainer.
Whoa.
Yes. So stay away from. I'm like, yo, you stay away from. But when I'm gone, then everybody's out to play. They know I'm gone. She's getting invited out. I call her one day. Hey, I'm just going out with my friend. I said her name. Yumi. We're just going to get some drinks. I was like, what you wearing? Let me see. Oh snap! Yeah, you're gonna have to put something else on. She got the girls out. That's how I found out she got them. When did you buy those? Yeah, well, okay, this is news to me. Dang, how much money do you really need out there? We're only living in Yangju. It's not Seoul. We're about 35, 40 minutes away from Seoul. So yeah, I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent. It blows my mind. I was extremely disappointed in her, but not surprised, because the second I realized what was going on, it's like the book came together and closed for me. Like, oh, like I bragged on my wife in front of y'all. Very proud of, but she played a good role. She was very aware of my presence, especially in this space, and my interest here, and how I thought about Korean women, or just Asian women in general. And I told her about things I appreciated, but instead of actually being that, she played a role for me. She played a role, and I guess it just came to it came to a point she just couldn't contain it anymore, especially when she got a feel for that life, that freedom, not understanding who that money's coming from while I was gone. So when it was time to come back, the king is returning and she knows how I act and what I expect. She's like, I can't do it anymore. I've been free. I tasted it.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn. So she always had that in her, but she hid it from you over the years.
Truly believe that.
Brother,
yeah.
There were hints, right? You
Yes.
mentioned like 5 minutes ago. Why didn't you like investigate those hints further? Did you feel like was that a glitch in the matrix there? Maybe that's I'll leave it to the side. Or why didn't you like investigate it further, brother, after those hints, bro?
Because I guess just listening to older guys in my building, because I had a few people to confide in, and I can talk and I can tell, I can say, hey, this, does your wife do this? What's going on here? And they were telling me, just let her do what she wants to do. Just, she's at home. It's okay. She's got 2 kids. What is she going to do? And I understand how they rationalize that, but I don't think any of us understood what was going on inside my wife's head and inside her heart, because it's a heart issue. That is a heart issue. You got to want to. And then these other desires, these worldly desires, you got to understand what they are. It's just worldly, but nothing is like your love with your family and your love between you and your husband, and how your husband should love you, as I did. So she literally sacrificed. And this is my last text message to her. You destroyed your family to be happy, and this happiness could be very temporary.
Facts, bro. This is obviously brother sad news, but I'm happy you came on the channel, brother, to let brothers know as to y'all gotta vet well, y'all gotta have standards, and y'all gotta be strong in this life, man. You gotta be strong in this life. So Mr. Pooh, right, before we go into the the dating part, friends, right? So you were aware that her friends are married, but also sleeping around with their trainers or different men, and they also have children too. Why didn't you pull her away from those friends, bro? Like, listen, why didn't you let her know? Listen, how can she be your friend? She's cheating on her man, blah blah blah. How's she your friend? Why did you let her still be friends with those women, brother? In that aspect.
Well, I checked her on that. I was like, yo, you don't need to be around women. Like, once I got the news, she was like, hey, Yumi, she slept with, Yumi's 40 years old, sleeping with the 25-year-old trainer in our neighborhood. So, her husband, works in Seoul. He's away. So when she tells me this, I say, birds of a feather flock together. I was like, I went back to the old thing. She told you, why she feels so comfortable telling you she cheated? Why? Like, what's up with that? So once she realized how much I didn't like that, I heard about her less. I heard about her friend less. So she kept them at a distance. So I was fine with that. But once I was gone, about 3 months in, she was like, yeah, I'm going with Yumi and we're going out. And I was like, yo, what's up? You going out with who? And I explained why I didn't like it, but there's nothing I can do from the distance I was in America. So all her little crap she could do, all her freedom, spending my money, brand new dress, brand new breasts. She's able to do it while I'm gone. I have very little control. The only thing I can do is concentrate on what I'm doing and say, I'm gonna get back to my family, and we're gonna get this straight, and things are gonna go back to how it was. But when that taste of freedom, she did not want it. She did not want to go back to being a wife, being held accountable, me saying, hey, you don't need to be around her. Hey, what are you doing wearing that? No, chill with that. You got 2 kids with you. Those are my kids. How are we going to look? And I'm not going to lie to you. It irritated me sometimes that I have to check her on some things. But I knew, I was like, I have to send you a picture of her, bro. But she still looked a certain way. She looked very young. She's, very much in shape. And so I couldn't knock her on too many things. The only thing she stayed away from was very short skirts. Or if she's going to do that, me and her were stepping out on the town. We were trying to tear up the town together. That's the only time. But, you know, stepping out without me, I know Korean men are a little creepy, a little weird. And so I didn't let her do that. So for her safety, I was like, don't do that. And how you present yourself is how you'll be treated. And you know how these old Koreans are. Don't look like, you know, somebody's property out there on the street. So this is actually a woman's nature. Good men, they hate good men now. A good man is a bad thing, because a good man's gonna say what? Hey, what you doing? Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. Hey, what are you wearing? No, that's not a good idea. You don't need to be doing that. He's gonna check you everywhere. Like, he's gonna hold you accountable. You hold him accountable. If I run out of money, who's the bad guy? No matter what happened, it's me. So me trying to be a good man is not what she wanted returning. She needs a yes man. So it wasn't going to work out, bro. It wasn't going to, as much I could check her all I want, but I was at a distance. So when it was time for me to come home, then she started sounding funny. And then when I got here, then I mean, the exact moment I got off that plane, greeted my kids, looked at her, it all felt weird, bro.
Damn.
Like, there was no smiles with me, bro. I was like, what have you done?
You telling me, brother, right? This woman done got a BBL, bro, or the equivalent while you were away. I can't believe this, bro. What?
Yes. Yes. She got and a weird thing that she got her nose done. She got her cheekbones done. The Koreans don't like their own face. You know, it's this weird self-hate they got going on over there. She got something with of course her, you know, she got her butt done. She got her stomach done, arms done, boobs done. Like it was like nonstop. That's like 6 things, bro. That's 6 times under the knife. And, you know, the doctors there, I mean, they're famous for doing that. They're really good at it. And they can hide the fact that it's been done if you don't know the woman. So they encourage her after the appointment. You should come in. You should get this done. We got a discount on this. That's how they get. I mean, you see in Gangnam, there's Brazilian women, Latinas everywhere. That's what they're actually getting done. That's what they're there for.
Wow. So let's go into the dating part, brother. So you've left her behind, right? We saw, brother. Now, brother, you're out now on the scene. You're dating women. You're out there now. Brother, I want to know the dating scene right now in 2024. So, brother, it's clear that the Matrix got to your wife, or the Matrix has always been in your wife, unfortunately, brother. But what about the women that are out there in the wild, brother, in the dating scene? Break it down for us, bro, please.
All right, here goes. Well, once I made this decision pretty quick that we were going to be done. It was like next day for me. So you guys know how I am. I broke the glass, took the jersey back out, put it on, Pooh was back, and then started stepping out.
Timberland boots on the sand, on the beach.
Yep, Pooh is back. They've always checked for me anyway, so I was very confident. Going into this situation. I was actually very hyped for it, but there's things I just didn't know. There's been changes that have gone on in Korea, and I thought it was just my wife that's been affected by social media, and I'm starting to realize that it's every damn girl. Let me tell you this. It's been 7 months. I've hooked up with women from the age of 24 all the way to 40. I cannot tell the difference with them, bro. The only thing is this: a Korean woman in her 30s, she is hip to what you want. She knows you better than you know yourself. She knows that you like to be cooked for. She knows you like to be waited on. and she knows where her the expectations are on her. So she's been well trained by her mother, which is, I guess the opposite of what goes on in the West. So no matter how she thinks, a woman is a woman. But in these countries, these women are more feminine, and they know how to be pleasant. It doesn't mean that they are. It doesn't, like, you get your femininity, you're gonna get that, but there's still a heart issue. They're there to land you. So I start dating a girl. She's 33. I met her on her birthday, and that I actually want to have younger. But I was like, all right, you look like this, you look good. So, and she's very thick for a Korean girl. I was like, okay, no problem. I met her. I actually met her at the mall. So we go, we date a little bit, and then she starts to really like me. I can tell she's feeling me a lot. She tells me, if this goes further, you meet my parents, we get married. I manage the money. She says it like that. I manage money. But what do you mean?
What?
Yeah. I was like, what do you mean? I take the money and we give each other allowance. I was like, but it's mine. Like, you're not there. You're not out there, 40 hours a week grinding, putting up with BS. That's me. That's me. That's my value. And she's like, yeah, that's how it is in Korea. I was like, okay, so it sounds like you want to be traditional. Okay, what else? If we get married, I don't want to work. You don't want to work. Okay. That's okay. Okay. I make enough. That's fine. Now, problem is, she don't know how to listen though. You don't want a job. You want my money, but you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen to simple things. Like I directly tell you, hey, I don't like this. Don't do that. Hey, why we're out in a bar. If you know these guys, how well do you know these guys? Why are you hugging everybody? Why are you giving out hugs? That's not wifey material. So don't tell me about you wanting money and you don't want to work. So I would send your ass back to Charlie's Steakhouse and you'll be making steak sandwiches. That's first example. It made me realize something. I gotta date women on my level. There is a level to this. You can't date the girl at McDonald's. You can't. If you're trying to, if I'm trying to climb, I'm in the middle of a climb right now. I've been on this channel. I've been inspired. I'm trying to be an example for not only for you guys, for my son, who's half black, who will be looked at as just black, no matter how light a shade he is. He's a black guy, big shoulders, big feet, big hands, and hopefully he inherit the rest of the things his dad got. So that's number one. And then I work in the office setting, so I deal with Korean. It's only Korean women. Before I was an outsider before, but they getting real hip to me now. They getting very familiar. Let's put it like that. I was just taken out on a lunch date with a woman who is actually older than me. She's like, "Hey, come on, let me take you out. I'm gonna pay for your food. I got you." She proceeds to tell me what she likes, what she wants. I want a man with a lot of money. This is Korea. Your average man it makes up like 95% of Korea. This is an average man. And on average, these men make about what, $2,300 a month on average. Now, I didn't tell her how much I made because I do well. I do better than all their men. So I was like, oh, that's fine. She's like, yeah, I'm here it goes again. I want to take the money. I said, that's fine. Are you very submissive? Do you cook? Do you clean? I really don't cook. I really don't like to cook. Okay, we got a problem. How old are you? 43. Oh, well, ma'am, I guess it's cats for you. Moving on. So it'd be cats it is. Were you married before? Yeah, I was married before. What happened? Oh, we didn't get along. You didn't do your job. Yeah. Then on to a 24-year-old, which is all men like that. She looked really good. One problem I had a little nose ring, but I was like, I can look past that. You know what comes with being with a 24-year-old? Because she wants to go everywhere. She got a lot of energy. But they want you to spend all this money, and then you're just nothing but content for the gram. But I'm taking the pictures. I ain't in the pictures. So I started going, oh my God, this feels like the States. Now, the one thing that separates them is that their respect. So since I'm older, she still had a certain level of respect for me, which I appreciated. But this is a young woman compared to the other women I dealt with. That was one in their 30s, one in her 40s. And it was still a no-go for me. It was a no-go. She's into. I'm looking at her on Instagram, and guess who I'm thinking about? I was like, yeah, you really going hard on this Instagram thing. She was bad. You can see, she's a tall Korean girl. She's about 5'8", legs and like well put together. Working at the polo store. When I walked in there, so I was checking out some polo jackets. So she was like, "Oh, this guy's got a little bit of money because polo's overpriced." So I went in there, was trying things out. She's wiping lint off my head, and she's doing the thing to where she's sitting and watching me. She's like watching me as I get my stuff fitted on. She's taking the lint off my shoulders. She's really servicing me to the point I was like, hey, let me get your number. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get your number. What's your name? Do you have a boyfriend? She said, yeah. Y'all know how I am. Pookie's out. Think I give a damn about your boyfriend? Yo, give me the number. She gave me the number, no hesitation. This happened like 6 times since I've been here. Oh, you got a boyfriend? Of course, a pretty Korean girl is going to have a boyfriend. Of course. If you think she's like a 7 or above, because those are the women who aren't going to talk to you. They don't have to pay you any mind. It's those 3s and 4s that constantly in your face here that you got to turn away. Or a lot of brothers, they accept them, but I'm after something else. I'm after something worth my time. So once you do that, you just make that decision. You're going to deal with these girls who got dudes. They have dudes already. You got a man? Okay, well, so I'm standing right here. I'm not worried about some, upset K-pop boy, asking me questions about bothering his girl. I put in the work. You know what I'm saying? I hit the bag. I'm ready. They're not going to bother me anyway. They're just going to get mad. So, but it's a no-no. Yeah, definitely, bro. It's a red flag. But I guess I'm the coldest version of me right now because of what I've gone through, what I'm going through right now. But it tells me I'm in the dating scene. So I'm not really looking for a wife, but it's almost like it's been a project for me to figure out what these women are all about. So that's 20s, 30s, and 40s. And they're about as Western as it gets, about as materialistic as it gets. And they don't give a damn about their significant other. It's really their happiness and nothing else. Literally nothing else. That's your dating scene, bro.
Wow. Yo, let me tell you this, brother, right? I was in South Korea last year, and obviously I did a stream last year about my time in South Korea. Very, very negative, and I knew I wasn't crazy, right? When I was in South Korea, when I was in all over South Korea, it felt very Western. It felt very whitewashed, a lot of white worshipping, a lot of women just in like 3 or 4s. I'm thinking, what's going on? Why am I seeing tattoos? Why am I seeing chicks with mini skirts? Why am I seeing all these piercings? I'm like, what is going on? Right. And I knew I wasn't crazy, bruv. Like, I know, a shout out to Ramel, right? I know Ramel loves Korea, and he gave a great live stream. A shout out to the brother Ramel. And, he came on, he called in, and then we had a debate there. But I didn't experience what Ramel felt. So that means in that short time, right, the Matrix is literally taking over South Korea. And that is a fact. The way America speaks about South Korea, the feminism movement, the 4B movement that they have in South Korea, that's America is trying right, to just completely make South Korea like America, and it's working. It's working, bruv. And
I
then
can tell
as
you this:
go on, bro.
the Matrix. What I've discovered, because we talk about the Matrix as if we're leaving. No, it's there when we arrive. So that's where the work has to come in, as far as you vetting and you being selfish and doing things for you, like, and
Mm.
only you. I mean, that's what I have to say about that as far as the Matrix goes.
Mm. So also, right, like women that had, skunk faces, just they look mean. They didn't they didn't feel approachable. Like I didn't get one interview. I got one, but it wasn't really that good, right?
Mm.
As opposed to Japan and Germany, which had a lot more interviews. And that kind of told the story, right? South Korea is literally on the brink. Then you have the low birth rate. Like, how can a population, right, have an average of less than one babies being born? Less than one babies being born. And that's the only country in the world that has less than one babies being
Hmm.
born. What does that tell you, brothers? They don't want to have kids, right? They they want to act so Western. They worship they white worship heavy. I'm thinking, I knew I wasn't crazy. That's why South Korea, in my opinion, it flopped for me as a trip. It just flopped. I'm like, these women ain't right, bruv. Break it down for us, Pooh.
Well, I'll say this. I'll be careful with saying whitewash. These people have a thought process that is none. I haven't run into another group of people that's like this. It is literally skin deep. It is literally skin deep for them. It's not wanting to be white. It's their view of white skin and white European features. The straight nose, the milky white skin. Think about the Korean history. Korean men and women and children during Japanese occupation, they all worked outside. They even had to go to school outside. So imagine how they look. You've seen a tan Korean girl, they can get very brown. So that's looked down upon. They got tanning booths here, yeah, but those are people that usually like lift weights and do things of that nature. So they're going to look at brown skin as a worker, as a laborer, the factory work. You seen the brothers out there, African brothers out there working the factories,
Mm.
Pakistani brothers, yeah. So they look at that as negative. Remember, it's all about what is on the surface, which has absolutely, like, it does not matter in character at all. But they put that towards the front. They got it backwards. So now it's how you look, what you're wearing, where you live. They put that in the front instead of who you are as a character. That's why right now I've been in this job for like 7 months. Once they realized who I was, and it took them this long, now I got Korean women hopping in my cubicle, sitting on my desk in front of my keyboard, wanting to talk to me, wanting to have meetings with me. Hey, what do you think about my career? I know you make more, you make more money, a lot more money than we do. Yeah, they're talking like this. They want to talk about how, ask me advice on different things. They want to ask me about the passport bro movement. What? Yeah, they want to ask me stuff like, yes, this has been a huge conversation in the office. So because they're asking me about friends like me. You've gotten past my skin. It took you 7 months to get past my skin. Now you know who I am as a person, how I carry myself. And now it's like, okay, so I guess I've gone beyond being just the black guy, the new black guy. So like now he's a man he's also, he can provide. This guy has money. This guy's trying to do this. And they hear me on the phone, how I deal with people. I'm a networking guy, so I'm always trying to land that top job. So I'm constantly trying to dunk on somebody. I'm trying to dunk on them. So I do my thing in that aspect. They see me do my thing. They see me be a man, and then now I'm attractive. I'm so cute. I'm getting my cheeks pinched all day. I'm getting coffee. Hey, you want anything? Hey, let me know if you need anything. It was cold, the first like 5-6 months. So it makes me feel weird. But yeah, it's all about what you can provide. It's about money. It's about status. It's always a classification. It's always like these hierarchies that you gotta bypass. But on the bottom is black skin. It's just how they are. It's not like I see a lot of brothers get women, but you remember what passport bros have to remember. You're not going to get the top chick in Korea. You're not going to get the top chick in Thailand. You're not going to get that because it's better for them to just go with what they know. So the rich Korean man is going to get he gets first dibs. No matter what role she plays, if she can be the side chick, she'll play that role for him, for the top Korean man, top 5%. She'll do that. So you're second. You may be even third in all the countries, because if she's not black, you know what? It was crazy. It's not. I thought it was a race thing. It's not a race thing. The black isn't just black. You know what I'm saying? I can go to Africa, and I get treated funny. I do not get along with African dudes out here, man. Almost come to blows. You know what it's like to get hit by a Nigerian man? You got to be careful out here. Thank God I'm a third. You got to be careful out here. These dudes don't like us, man. They don't like us. It's not just race. It's so many different aspects, but because you going from one country to another, and it's skin color for them. It's skin color and how you look and how your hair is done. It's everything. And then for me and you, a guy like me and you walking around, we already know we're the underdog. So I got to remember in my head the laws of attraction. We all got to remember that, what the laws of attraction are. It's positive thinking, and it starts to, it has to glow out. That's your aura. Because these women got these, resting bee face, and you got to get them to open up. You got to get, you got to get their guard down. A white man, he's looked at as, he's Captain America. He's nice. So they're going to be more open to him. But we're a mystery. We're a complete mystery. And then what they do know about us is, I ain't going to lie, if I'm a person that's smaller and weaker, I'm terrified of a brother looking at like me coming down the street, my big eyebrows, my jawline, my wide nose, big shoulders. Like, it's scary. So I gotta put that mask on. And unfortunately, we all gotta do it. We gotta say, all right, like, what's the laws of attraction here? It's about being positive, attracting people with your aura, having positive attitude, having black men, show your beautiful smile, show them pearly whites. You know what I'm saying? Be in shape. How you carry yourself. You don't be locked in with your hands in your pockets, your shoulders slumped forward. Don't do that, man. Shoulders back, chest out, saying hello. You can cold approach here. It's something I learned. It's not just a social game. A social game is not going to help us, because a Korean man is not going to help you get a Korean woman, even if he's married. He's not going to help you. It's all up to you. So you got to know the laws of attraction. You got to understand them. Wow. Very important. I was very worried about you here, bro. When I saw the first video, I was like, oh no. He may not know all the weird rules here. It's a strange place. So you got to know the laws of attraction. Laws of attraction is universal. You know what I'm
saying? Facts, bro. Facts. And obviously my time in South Korea left a bad taste. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, obviously I went to Japan first that year. My first Asian country. The women were checking for me heavy, super checking for me. I go to South Korea. I'm expecting to get that same love. The woman ain't showing me love, bro. I was in a suit. I had a nice haircut, right? I looked sharp. Women were not checking for me. But the same way I dressed in Korea that I did in Japan, women were looking at me. The first day, brother, in my time in Japan, a woman opposite me is smiling at me. I never get that love in South Korea. Like, and again, South Korean women, right, reminded me of American chicks. The attitude, the way they look, the way the facial expressions. I'm thinking the West is here, bruv. The West is in South Korea. Um, Honestly, this is very sad to hear, right? And I don't think I think they've reached a point of no return. I think that a lot of women have chosen to eat the devil's fruit. They've chosen evilness, brother, right? That's why the birth rate is less than one child per woman. Um, I don't know what's happening in South Korea, but it's not a country that is high up in my list anymore. I don't mind going there in the future, for holiday. Maybe I'm in Japan. I take a trip there, a quick trip there. But in terms of me going from UK to South Korea, I'm not doing that for the foreseeable future, bro. Because it's just like I was just thinking, I knew it wasn't me, bruv. Like I cold approach chicks, I dress well, I put on nice perfume, and these South Korean chicks, right, ain't showing me love. Either because I'm dark skinned, I'm a dark skinned black guy, or
Dude,
these
nothing
chicks are
like that.
just super Western, bro. What's going on?
No, it's not. I don't think it's that. This is among all of Asia the most difficult place to land a woman. So if you're if you're a passport bro and you're coming here for the first time, it's going to be very difficult. I was more oblivious to what they thought. So my attitude was like, I'm gonna get people to talk to me. So I never had difficulty here. And then even with everywhere I go, when I go to speak to a Korean woman, no matter her age, my looks are always mentioned. It's only looks. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. My looks are always mentioned. They want to grab my face. Or they talk about my size. Bro, I cannot wear sweats in my neighborhood no more. I cannot wear sweats, bro. Yeah, I know you dressed up, you got ready to step out, you looked your sharpest. For Korea, yeah, your outside appearance matters, but bro, I've picked them up wearing whatever. Sometimes you just got to project a different type of energy. These women, they don't smile a lot. They're not going to be welcoming. So you got to do extra work just to kind of get in there, just to be recognized sometimes. Hey.
And brother, that's similar to the West, right, brother? They don't smile at women here, and you got to put in extra work to get a date in the West or women to look your way. Isn't that quite Western as well, brother? That kind of sentiment and that kind of nuance. That's Western, right?
No, nothing's easier than picking up a girl in the West. Honestly, like I give you an example. Oh man, I'm gonna sound like a dog. Okay, like I said, everybody knows I was a pookie, or I like to switch between being classy and pookie. I've in the West, I had an apartment, no furniture, but I kept bringing girls back. Like I don't even have a bed for you to sleep on, or not to sleep, but to roll off of. I don't even have a bed, but they were still down with it. There were girls I talked to for like 5 months, and I didn't know their name. It was just a number in my phone. It's just the West is to me it's a cesspool. It's built for guys like me. If I want to be just a dog, it's perfect for guys like me. But unfortunately, now I choose to be a different kind of man, and I'm looking for more value in a woman. I have to turn my back on the West, because what they're going to do is run me into debt. They're going to run me into debt. I'm going to have nothing but toxic relationships, waste my time, and time is money. I'd rather not do that. So I choose to go east, or I choose to check out what's going on in the rest of the world. But I pay very close attention to what's going on internationally. It's not really that great anywhere, because a woman's nature, they feel more confident to show who they really are, because it's becoming okay on social media. As long as they get the likes, you go girl. We got the simps also liking. as long as they get a few likes, what we say, if we shake our head at them and say, hey, that's not right, we're wrong. We'll be wrong. So you're fighting against a force that you can't even defeat. It is here. It will have your daughter if you're not careful, if you're not in her life. It will have everyone. It's just how it is. They're proof for negative behavior. And then if they're being positive, I want to respect my man. I want to cook for him. I want to treat him like this. Even if he's reciprocating that treatment back to her, they don't care. Because they're gonna shake their hand at you, saying, what are you doing? You're a slave. So that it's not just Korea, I notice. It's everywhere now. The more information is out there, the worse it's becoming. The more first world you are, economy, feminism go together. All right. Economy, it's hard to pay for anything. That's why they're at 0.84, which is a point of no return, by the way. They're done. It is over. You're under one. You're not having kids at all. That's what that meant. Like you had a bad year. You're done. It's over. And they seem to be fine with that.
Damn. So, brother, South Korea is a Christian country, bruv. When I was in South Korea last year, I saw a lot of crosses, a lot of churches, and I'm thinking, like, ain't no way a Christian country, right, the women are supposed to be behaving like that, going against their men, having a culture like that. I was out in Gangnam, in Hongdae. I saw chicks, right, literally half naked, bro. I turn on the TV in my hotel room. I'm seeing K-pop singers, like with mini skirts on, right, dancing provocative, similar to what I see in the West. I'm thinking, this is a Christian country, though. So, brother, you telling me that all that Christianity stuff in South Korea, it doesn't matter a damn thing?
Christian, your religion is really an individual journey. Don't forget what religion is. It was nothing but a vehicle for European imperialism. The same thing. Like, it's a beautiful thing to have to love a higher power, to the most important rule of all. Do unto others. Love thy neighbor, which is the hardest commandment in the world, especially in Korea, when you're trying to drive, to love thy neighbor. That's a beautiful thing. But I've competed with my pastor on women at church. Church is still people. Like, God is great, God is perfect, but people are weird. So it looks more like a business to me. If you can get on your, you can get in your high-rise apartment and look at crosses everywhere, glowing in neon lights. It's more like Vegas. Religion is more like, it's like God. It's like men's pursuit of God, so-called pursuit of God, but it's not true spirituality where it's your morals in action. With that's good character, morals in action. So you can go to church, you can read, you can thump that Bible all you want, but if you can't walk that walk, it means it's just paper. It's just ideas. It's just a history book. Damn. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Like, I think they're more devout in Islam. I think they're more devout. They walk that walk a lot better than a Christian would. And I'm a Christian. It is what it is. I picked up a lot of women out of church, and I guarantee you, we weren't having Bible study. It was getting biblical, I promise. It was biblical in there, but we weren't having Bible study. I promise you that. I went for the Lord and came out with, this is how things get messed up. I think it's a slick way for people just to be who they are sometimes. That's how some people use it. Some people are right. And then some people, it's people though. That's what makes the difference. It's a heart issue. That's what Korea is having right now. That's what the West is having. Their heart issue is out on display. So now they can, the wrong things they're doing, now wrong is right and right is wrong. And they're saying, you accept this. That's what the West is it not? So now Korea's doing it, and Japan will do it, and everybody else, as these countries come up, will do the same thing.
Facts. Brothers, can we get the likes up, man? This is a classic live stream. We got over 200 people watching on YouTube and only 95 likes. Can we please like the video? Like the stream, man. Like it. Likes are free. Show some support, man. Who else is giving you the good, the bad, and ugly on every country? We're not here to sell you lies. We're going to give you the absolute truth, man. So at least support the movement, man. Hit the super chats, hit the PayPal donation. Show me some love, man. That'd be really appreciated. Shout out to John Mitchell for the $5 super chat. Great show. Thanks to your guest for sharing his story. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Pooh, and thank you, John, for the super chat. Shout out to Bo Kenneth for the $10 super sticker. Thank you both for the support. Much appreciate, bro. Get the likes up, please. Wow. So, Mr. Pooh, how can brothers now navigate South Korea? Is South Korea a country we avoid now, or must we move differently if we're definitely set on getting a South Korean chick? What's your advice, bro? Because so far, it's looking like 80% of it's done, bro. I'll keep it a stack.
First, you gotta ask if you're gonna make a move. If you guys are actually gonna make a move, and I gotta say that a certain way, because most of us don't. The numbers are saying that we're not moving and getting out of the West at a rate that's really making a true impact. Yeah, the media's talking about it, but we're really not doing anything. I can promise you that. So with that said, if you plan on if you want to look at South Korea as a place where you could explore, check out the culture, possibly make some money, I would look at it only in that aspect, because women are going to be women no matter where you go. A woman's a woman. She wants security, and she wants to be happy in no particular order. And that's all I said. That's what a woman wants now: security and to be happy, as in money, a house, a car, and things and stuff. And she wants to be happy with the person she looks at in the mirror, happy with showing her things off to her friends. That is your woman now, no matter where you go in the world. Now, this is why it's so important to do some self-work. And this is why it's so important to love yourself and to work on yourself, and make sure your self-esteem is up and that your character is up. I talked to you about the laws of attraction, thinking positively from within, loving who you are in the mirror, loving your face, working on your body, being healthy, being financially stable, financially free. And then saying, okay, I'm going to make this move. I'm going to make a real move towards one of these countries. I don't care what country it is, because if you understand the laws of attraction, if you are positive, if you smile, if you speak in a positive manner and you begin to have a positive aura, these women will be climbing the fences no matter what country you go in. Now, for me, I understood what that was, because I was a person who looked down on himself. Didn't think I was worth anything, and didn't think I brought enough to the table. As I built myself, like really began to build myself, I ooze confidence now. I would never been able to talk to you guys like this before. I talked to you guys about my personal business. It ain't getting too crazy, but I'm confident enough now in myself to be able to do that, when I never would have thought about this 3 years ago. So that's really something you guys did for me. And then other men reach out to me, and I see, okay, I am definitely not alone. So remember that you're not alone. There's someone that you could always reach out to. You got someone that you can lean on. You always need a mentor. You always need a guide to help you along life, someone older than you or more experienced than you, and whatever it is that you're doing. But when you're out here and you're dealing with these women, you're going to get the same crap, because the information got to them before you got off the plane. It is what it is. In Thailand, you're probably not going to get the top tier woman. She's going to choose a Thai man or a very rich white man that came into the picture, because that's where money matters. Because money matters to these women. It's about stuff, security, remember? Because that's what security is now. It's not just having a roof over your head in a beautiful family to support and love you. That's not what it is. It's 2024. So now you got modern women. Now it's time to be a modern man. And I would date until I found someone truly worthy, and I wouldn't marry immediately at all. I would vet. I want to go through hard times with her, different types of different obstacles with her to see who she truly is from the core. Because a woman will let you know, especially when times get hard. That test her. That would test her as far as her loyalty to you. Because you need that loyalty. She needs to honor you. She needs to respect you more than even love. Forget all the other crap. That love crap. Sometimes I love chocolate. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I love them thick. Sometimes I like them slim. And I use the word love, and they use it loosely now. Look at social media. They use it very loosely. So make sure you're on top of your game. Make sure you're out there for you. You cannot forget these women that it's all going to get them. It's a wrap. Okay. No matter where you go, maybe you got better chances in a developing country. I'm not going to call them third world, because some reason, if you say third world around a Korean, they think about flies on your eyeballs. Yeah, I respect more than love all the way, bro. And I watch your videos like more than once. So my key thing for you, bro, you go in and I can tell you're excited. And I was hurt for you watching that video, because I could tell in your voice that you're being discouraged. And I was like, man, I wonder if he's wearing this on his sleeve. I wonder how my brother's doing out there. Like, I know it's hard to be here. It's these women don't give you any real choosing signals unless they really want you. And sometimes Korean women are the most flakiest people on earth, bro. So it's definitely hard out here. But you got to remember, you must stay positive. And if things don't go your way, you gotta work on you, because it's the only thing you can control. That's where these passport bros, they gotta know this. It's all about self-work, man. You can't get off the plane and say I'm in IT and think women are gonna come to you. You got to put in the work. Like, forget the women, man. Forget the women. My key thing, if you guys got to remember, you got to be doing it for yourself. When they see you doing it for yourself, you're improving, you're disciplined, you're on your game, your game, your personal journey. They'll come flock, man. You can't beat them off with a stick.
Wow, great breakdown, bro. Great breakdown, Mr. Pooh. So, Pooh, can I get the phone lines open up for brothers to call and ask questions about the situation in South Korea?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Anything else you want to chime in, brother, and speak about before I open up the phone lines about being seen in Korea, the woman, the culture, things you got to look out for, the Matrix, before I open up the phone lines, bro?
Yeah. I watch a lot of Passport Bro content. And I mean, when I talk about the self-work and self-work and putting time into yourself and putting time into your own life, investing in yourself, I see brothers, especially in Thailand, just a few days ago, and on his thumbnail, there's a big booty on his thumbnail, bro. And he's big out here. I'm not gonna say his name, because we have to all support each other. I didn't like what he did, but I'm not gonna sit there and clash with any Passport Bro, with any of my men in front of people. We don't need to be fighting. I didn't like his Thai girl, bro, that he was showcasing, and I didn't like the comments, hyping her up. It was she was as big as a pig as it gets, man. Biggest Thai girl. I didn't think she was Thai. She was so big. We got to remember, we're worth more than that. And that bothers me. I mean, if you have your things, you got your little kinks, whatever, like this is what type of girl I like, that's one thing. But when you are putting her online and you are representing me, whether you like it, whether I like it or not, I know y'all saw them. It was absolutely it was disgusting. She'd swim around in the pool like a hippo. It was crazy. All right. So we represent each other. It's not like everyone looks at the lone white man as it's this one instance that something weird happened. I don't know what happened to that guy. For all of us, they put us all together. So you represent me, I represent you. If you like to chase the piggies in the background, keep that in the background. All right. Please don't post her.
Oh wow, flipping heck. Oh my goodness, man. I don't know what to say about that, man. I think brother's got to move right, man. That's just shocking. Damn, flipping heck, bro. Hippo in the swimming pool.
Oh my god, bro. If someone says the name of the YouTuber, I won't say the name. If someone writes it, I might go, but like I said, I love the YouTubers because it's black men making money. It's black men is, they're getting out, and I appreciate that. And I want that for them because I've been out here. But to see that, I was so disgusted. And I play a lot. I play your videos and I play other guys' videos in front of Korean women. I do it. I just want to get their take on things. So I was like, what do you think about this? What do you think about what my brother said? Okay, and they're asking all the time, black guys and those big girls. What's up with that? What's with black? And I'm like, man, I can't explain that to you. I don't know why we step off the plane and we're like, we look around, we're like, okay, who's eating? And then, and that's it. We go for the first thing that accepts us. I think it's in a way, it's almost like a self-hate. It's like, you don't think you're good enough. Or, black men, we'll never recognize the lion that we really are. Like, that's what we really are. That's how other people view us. But we've been beaten down so much, and then we think like we're like afraid of our own shadow. Like, you know how great you are? Like, you know how great you really can be? Like, what's locked into your body? If you work out a little bit, what happens to your body compared to everybody else? Like, we could be that, but we just don't.
Facts. Absolute facts. So I've got a caller. Johnny, you've been confirmed, brother. Salute to you, bro. Do you want to turn your camera off, Johnny? Let me bring in Mr. Johnny in the background. JM, can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you're not a troll? Yep, you're good, JM. Thank you, bro. Go on. What are you saying, Johnny? You good, brother?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Not bad.
What's up, man?
Hey, so first off, just wanted to thank the guest, for coming on and sharing his story. I think it takes a lot for someone to come on and share what you shared and still be, super secure about it. You're clearly not letting it bring you down, like, mentally and emotionally. And it's like you're taking it and you're weaponizing that towards your future goals and your future path. And I just, I want to applaud you for that, because one, a lot of guys wouldn't come on and talk about what you talked about, and two, divorce breaks a lot of guys. Losing their family, or just, I mean, it seems like you still can see your kids and everything, but I mean, it's like, when you lose that whole cohesive unit, it really does a number on guys mentally and emotionally. And I'm glad that you're not going to get super wrecked financially. So, awesome. I guess, yeah, the only two questions that I had, and if you don't feel comfortable answering, just say, yeah, I don't feel comfortable answering.
No, man, go for it. Let's go for it.
Cool. So I do remember you covering some details about your ex-wife's, I guess, experience in Australia. Her, I think, going to school there or being there for a few years. And when I remember hearing that, and in the back of my mind, I thought, I wonder if, like, that in and of itself is a red flag. But I thought maybe at the time I could just be looking, too deep into it. But I'm wondering if her time in Australia, because I mean, Australia is the West, just like the UK, just like the US. It's not like, it's not like East Asia, obviously. It's not like Japan. It's not like South Korea. And I know that even though the westernized countries like the US, the UK, spread their ideals and their ideals make it into those East Asian countries. I know there's always an East Asian slant on
Mhm.
everything. So I know it's like um you know that whole respect thing
Mhm.
between the woman and the men in East Asia. I still feel like that's still preserved in East Asia, even though there's a bunch of materialism, a bunch of feminism, a bunch of Western ideals. Whereas in the U.S. and in the U.K., I feel like there's been a complete breakdown of respect between women and men. So like I just share that as like an example, right? So
Mhm.
I wanted to know from your opinion, do you think her having spent time in Australia kind of contributed to the true westernization of who she would ultimately become? And if so, uh, what made you either gloss over that or not key on that as a like a possible, I guess, red flag or issue?
Man, hindsight is 2020, bro.
Hmm.
I can tell you this. She moved to Australia when she was 13. She didn't know English at all. Um,
Hmm.
when I asked her, I was like, okay, like your parents sent you to Australia when you were just a kid. Why did you choose? Why Australia? Who chose it for you? She
Hmm.
said she chose Australia. I said, why
Hmm.
did you want to go? She said, I wanted to meet white boys. And I was
Oh
like,
man,
what?
what?
Because she never met a white boy in her life. So
Oh wow.
that was her interest. But when she got there, you know, they put her through the ringer. She you can't speak the language. You looking real Korean in here. Why you dressed like a little sailor at school?
They
So they
made her feel
making fun
like
of
an
her culture.
outsider. She made her feel like an outsider.
So guess what she had to do in order to blend in? She had to get with the program, with their program.
Mm,
So I do believe that had a profound effect on who she is today, because she had to get rid of her, herself as a Korean in order to blend. Because white people aren't going to let you come in and just be you.
that's
Not if
true.
they don't. It has to be cool enough where they can do it too.
That's
Like let
facts.
us do it. But they look at Korean stuff. They're like that Korean thing. You can leave that behind. Why you dress like that? Why do you have K Swiss on with a skirt and crew socks? Why are you dressed like that? So from 13 to 17, she was there.
Okay.
Of course, she still had to resort to going into her, the Korean bubble in Australia, because the Asian community, very, I wouldn't call them strong, but they're there. There's many of them.
And they can kind of preserve
So
their culture to some degree while they're down there a
to,
little bit.
to some degree, but uh as far as like listening to her music and what she was into, I played the most Korean music in the house. All
Interesting.
right.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't look at music as a big deal because I got to get my Ghostface Killer kick out every day. I listen to Nutmeg, Daytona 500, you know what I'm saying? Iron Maiden, I got to listen to that. So I
Supreme
didn't look at that as a,
clientele.
oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Yes. So I didn't look at that as a thing. But this music has different effects on different types of people. So where it doesn't affect me so much, I do listen. I used to listen to a lot of gangster rap. I never became a gangster in my life. You know what I'm saying? Never got arrested. So yeah, I think it had a profound effect on her. I was like, what are you listening to? What is this? And I couldn't name it for you guys, but yeah, I believe it had a very strong effect on her. And not only that, her speech also. So she had certain things she said with an Australian accent. She was definitely a Western girl, man. But I think because I voiced my opinions on so many things,
Hmm.
she knew she had to reel it in and keep it locked and not come out with too many things, or if my eyebrow would go up.
She probably wouldn't have made it to the altar, you think, if she had just totally
No
not.
way in hell was she. If I would have known, but I mean, we could all say that. Like, it sucks. I gotta go through this. It sucks. I gotta go through this, but I'm grateful because of what I'm going to become because of this. So I'm grateful to her. I know how to be a husband. I know that, I know how to. I know how to raise a family. I know how to take care of it. I am fully aware I can do this. So I'll be great if there's a next woman out there. I don't know, because I'm Mr. Freeze right now. I'm as cold as it gets out here in Korea when it comes to women. I do not care, man, anymore. So I know that most women you're gonna deal with are they're gonna have an Instagram. They're gonna have a Facebook. They're getting information all the time. I know this now. I know the effects, so I care less on anything. I can be as honest as I want to. I can be as rough and brash and nasty about it as possible, and not even care, because time is money, and time is something we don't have in abundance. So I'm moving forward, bro. Like, honestly, that's why I hit the ground running. I was like, oh, I ain't gonna be married no more. All right, well, let me get this dating thing going. I have no feelings, bro. Like, I just look inside myself. I'm more introspective now. Like, what do I need to do for myself? Well, am I working out? How's my blood glucose going? How's this going? Like, I care more about myself than anything outside.
And I could tell I could tell just by the way you're talking, what you're saying, you're gonna be just fine. I mean, it's clear you did a lot of work even before you got married to her. And just by the way you're speaking, it's almost like this didn't break a step in your stride, which is amazing. Like, this is like I'm really hoping that the brothers in the chat and anyone that's watching the video really keying on the message, and can take something away from what you're saying, because I mean, it's you're literally laying out principles that should be in a guidebook for other brothers to read, especially the Passport Bros. My second and last question for you, and then I'm gonna get off, because I don't want to hog the whole stream. What role, if any, did her parents play in somehow keeping her, or either holding her accountable or keeping her focused on her responsibilities as a wife and a mother, or was that like just kind of like non-existent?
Let's see here. That's a big deal, because hold on, y'all. Got a battery issue. Okay. Her relationship with her parents. Here's the flag again. All right, here's the flag again. Her relationship with her dad was non-existent. He's in the house, but he lost his job 30 years ago and never got back on the horse. All right. So her mom takes care of her dad and talks trash to her dad on the daily. All right. I mean, calls him every name in the book. I understand a lot of their Korean, so it's just constant. It's not good, bro. So there was a lack of respect for her father. Yeah. And she told me she looked at me as a father figure. So I thought that was dope, but I think it was game. You know what I'm saying? Because I noticed she'll see me notice the way he was spoken to, the words they used toward him. I say they because she was doing it too.
Oh wow, that's unfortunate. She was saying that stuff to her father as well. Okay.
Yeah, she was talking out the side of her neck, and he didn't. It's on him, just like it would be on me.
Right.
You let these women talk out the side of their neck. They're talking crazy. Like, are you crazy? Are you gonna allow this? Like, it's time to step, bro. But
I'd either get a job or I'd leave the house. I mean, I can't stay there.
Thank you. No, you can't. It's done. When a woman looks at you and she's like, I don't want you, and she looks at you with that, it's a strong dislike. I forget the word. It's like a strong dislike, lack of disrespect. You like, it was so bad. you know, anytime he did something right, they clown him for being broke or depending on them or not being a father, not being a man. It was constant. I mean, even when he did something good, he seemed like a good guy, but he definitely looked for women to take care. Women take care of you. Are they supposed to respect you at all? Like moving into a woman's house. Don't do it. There's no respect there. That means you got to leave, bro. Get a job, leave. So, her parents, she pretty much runs that show because her mom runs the show. So whatever she wanted, she got. They had really no authority. Like, you know, they're not as authoritative as most Korean parents were. When she wanted to be with me, she hopped on the plane and there was they didn't ask her any questions. Who are you going to go see? Because I remember I was living in Okinawa and she was vacationing in Okinawa.
In Japan.
And then all of a sudden, yeah, their daughter is leaving to go see this American soldier. And they're not asking any questions. Oh, y'all getting married? Dang. Okay. Like without, like there was, I kind of came in and then I kind of flexed on, on her father myself. Like, well, I got your daughter. Hey, how are you? Yeah, where do you work? Okay, you're security guard. It wasn't the same amount of respect. Like I said, I'm old school. I can give you as much respect as I can. But if I don't look at you as
doing your job as a man, taking care of business,
I won't even hold it back. It's just in me to just naturally just I'll throw my own weight around. So I'll be the person that takes care of everybody, which I was. I give him money. He's supposed to be helping us out, bro.
Wow.
Exactly. Damn. So, I mean, it really matters. The parents, the relationship with the parents is so many things you got to look at when you're dealing with these women now, bro. And that's why you can't even make women a priority. I think it's a huge mistake. Now Passport Bros is up for interpretation now because the most famous ones are all about women. No self-improvement because most of them are fat or old. And hanging out with women that they just pay for. And then there's us out there, self-improvement, IT, remote work, finding a wife, finding a woman that's valuable, being a man of value, finding a woman, family. Those are our talking points, but it's not theirs. The most famous guys, they're doing exactly what the West is saying they're doing. If you watch the video.
True, yeah.
So I don't know, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
No problem.
Keep it up, and I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. I mean,
I won't stop, bro. I won't stop. Bigger things coming. Promise you that.
I appreciate you, IP. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for that, Johnny. Great questions there, brother. Let me bring Mr. JM in the background. And brothers, can we please get the likes up and the support flowing? That'd be greatly appreciated. And bring Mr. JM in the background. What's going on, Jam? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. We were not lying about having a fire stream today on Friday. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit flabbergasted to hear this, but I am thankful for you bringing this to us, Pooh. You're one of the people here that I really respect, and that I think has a good head on their shoulders. So to hear this happen to you, I just have a lot of questions, right? And I just, again, if these questions are too personal, feel free not to answer, but I just need to know certain things, right? You said that you left and you came back after 8 months, and then she had a lot of surgery, right? So I know that Korea is like the number one place for that. People go there, just like Istanbul is the number one place for like hair transplants. So I'm sure you've had that conversation with her before you left the surgery, right? So she purposely went against her. So she knew doing this that this would displease you, right?
I show my displeasure the second she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go down to Gangnam and I'm gonna do this. I'm like, oh, you wait till I leave now. You wait till I leave and you're doing all this stuff. I'm talking. it seemed like every month it was like a new thing I want to do. As you know, my self-esteem, you know, it's a lot of maintenance. You know, Korean women, as they get older, they do this. Yes, I know this is true. I know this is true, but it be like I don't want to come home to Michael Jackson. So like let's like yeah, I showed my displeasure, but like I said, there's very little I could do because I had to hand her money, more money than usual, because she still had to take care of our things at home. She still had the kids, so I had to trust her or learn to trust her, and then with that trust, she turned it. I mean, she turned herself into Michael Jackson on me, bro. I was like, is this? I don't even know another way to describe it. She knew I was pissed, but then she was like, well, I want to be happy. And it changed the whole vibe, bro.
No, I understand. I understand why, you know, you didn't have much leverage in that situation. I just wanted to be clear that she knew by doing this, it would greatly displease you. And in other words, she knew this was like a deal breaker, and she still went along with that. Because then that confirmed that the switch. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, the second thing that I have is I kind of, and I think IP alluded to this earlier, but I think it kind of got lost. So I'll just ask again if it bears repeating. You know, hearing all this stuff with these, you know, Korean women, the way they move, right? I know they're slightly better than American women, right? Because they still have respect for the man, but it's like,
yes,
with the amount of work we have to do, I mean, you have to learn Korean, Hangul, all that stuff. It's like, is it even worth? Like, I remember listening to a stream with you and Romel and a couple other people talking about Korea versus Japan, and I think you were Team Korea. Are you still Team Korea after this?
Bro, I am neutral now, because if I'm talking to my son, my son, if he doesn't speak Korean and he's like that, I'm tired of what's going on out here. I want to be treated with respect. I want to find a respectable woman. And I want to go somewhere where the culture respects men, and I want to feel safe also, because that's big for us. I want to feel safe, and I want to be able to also flourish, you know, financially. And we're not even, I can't even say financial, because it's subjective with the finances, whatever you're happy with. And he asked me, he's like, yeah, where should I go? I'm probably not going to name Korea first, just because it's a more unhappier country due to their economics, due to their housing market, and their people not getting paid properly. That's why they don't have kids, because they can't. They literally can't, and the government isn't. They're trying to help now, but once you hit 0.84, it's done. So I'm not pointing out Korea, but I can say this: I'm not pointing out the Philippines either, because physically, I don't think. Yeah, you'll find some beautiful women, but I don't think they're up to par compared to other places I've been. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling them to go to Thailand either, because I know who's there. He got the hood waiting for him, and I don't want that. At least in Pattaya anyway. And there's a lot of infighting going on with, you know, more brothers start showing up, then brothers getting jealous, old versus the young, rich versus the poor. And here we go again. We're back in Compton. I don't want that. I don't want that for him. So me and him will honestly have to sit down and go, okay, let's think about how you're going to live first. That's finances. Okay, let's talk about security. How's security there? I'm thinking about it totally different. I'm not going, well, the women out here, they're more open to my skin color. Forget that, bro. Forget that. I'm out on that. I'm out on saying that, you know, how I get along with women will determine where I go. That's not happening, bro. Because wherever I'm successful, wherever I'm happy, the women are going to follow. Women follow the money anyway. They're going to do that. It doesn't matter what color you are. They're going to follow the money. And if you're going outside the country where you I guess belong, you're not the first choice anyway. And that's something you got to accept as a passport, bro. You're not the first choice. You can be a good choice. They can say, oh, this is good. He's a good man. I appreciate him. I respect him. I honor him like I would honor any other man, like I honor my father. You can get that. But you're not the first choice. I would tell him that. I look at it. I'm sorry, bro. We're not the first choice anywhere. Not as far as marriage material. As a fun night, yeah, we're top choice, top sirloin, A1 that we are. But when the things that matter, no, we're not. So he's got to make a decision for him. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be all about him and how he feels and what's best for him professionally, as far as his livelihood, how he feels on the inside, is self-esteem. Korea could break you down, man, as far as self-esteem goes. So you see it destroy Black women, destroy them. So if you don't have your self-esteem right, if you don't care, give a damn what people think about you from the outside, and you don't wear confidence like it's cologne, you're in trouble out here. So I'll direct him probably somewhere. I have to do the research, because I'm looking now. I'm starting to look like, okay, where else? My first target is Taiwan. First target. I'm gonna see what that's all about. But I know the Matrix is waiting on me. But what are the women talking about? What are my prospects? If I wanted to go do remote work, I already know I could do that there. So how's the dating scene? How's my social life going to be? And not really looking for a partner, but everyone desires a woman's touch every now and again, right? So yeah. So like what's my overall life going to be? Am I going to feel fulfilled? Maybe work is off. Is my social life coming up? Does it balance it out? That's the things I got to think about now, instead of what these, how are women doing over here? Women are fickle, man, and they're going to change with the times. They're going to change with the economy. So that's all I got, bro.
No, I understand. It's just I know that we're all hardworking brothers, right? And we're all putting in work in order to better our standings here. And I would just hate to see someone, put in a lot of work in order to assimilate into a culture, only to be, unimpressed with the life that they obtain once they get there. So, now hearing about this about Korea, I'm starting to replay IP stream about his experience there. And yeah, it's unfortunate that that's the case, but I do have another question to ask you, because obviously you were a married man and you were trying to do right by your woman. So there's a bit of a gap, right, between when you were a single man in Korea, right, and then dating now, right? What are like the major differences you've noticed when you were, single up to you meeting your wife, right, then settling down, versus, the 7-8 months that you had dating now, post your.
Oh my God, bro. There's huge. They're totally different now. You're talking about a difference of about 10 years. So now that my value's up, I'm dealing with women. I deal with women that are younger, and this younger generation, I mean, they've had phones since they were like 13. So they're into the clicks, they're into the likes. I never had to take so many pictures and be asked so many things based on pop culture. I'm a very deep person. Number one, I got ADHD and I'm an introvert. If you're not giving me any good conversation, and I want to know if you're intelligent, I only like to talk to intelligent people. If you can't give me any depth at all, my mind will wander on what, I'll go check on what the squirrels are doing in the middle of a conversation. I'll check out on you. And that's what was going on in many of my dates. Although Korean women are much deeper as far as their ability to look inside themselves, and I guess more like how the world perceives them, how they perceive the world, and as far as their career and their personal life, they're more developed than a Western woman, because a lot of Korean women have their own. They've had to develop a skill in order to live. So they develop professionally, and it helps them help build their character. And a lot of them, aren't filthy rich. Their father's not going to give them a bunch of money, so they got to go get the money on their own. So they go get a job, they go find a skill, and they're still like that. But now that the housing market it's impossible to live, and Korean women, if you talk to them, they say, "Hey, I would love to get married, but it's the highest place as far as raising a child, highest, is the most expensive place. So put that in your head as a passport, bro. If you're the type of man, if you were looking for a family, don't do it here. I pay hundreds of dollars in extracurricular activities for my kids. It's very expensive here. You're almost looked at. You're definitely high value if you got your kid playing basketball. You know, I got a ballerina at home, an artist, a MMA guy. Is just like it's constant. You got to be almost rich here. It's just where we're at now. They show that they're more modern than even our women, because at least they still work. And they look at things like, well, I can't have a baby. Where our women, they'll have a baby anyway, right into poverty. They'll go right into poverty. But these women, they're not doing that. They don't want to have a baby. And if a Korean man's like, you're not having a baby, then why should I marry you? You're just fun. I can't, I want someone to answer to just because. No. So that's the biggest difference now, where women were like looking for a man. Yeah, I'm looking for a guy. Da, 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 da. Now it's like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. He's kind of there. He's kind of paying things off for me, because that's what guys do here. And he's just a guy. But yeah, I'm interested in you too because you look good, and I want to ride the black horse anyway. So it's more about the outside now. It's not, there's not going to be a deep connection. Women, like I said, the women are deep. I love how they speak. It's always this weird spiritual connection with the Korean woman. They're so pleasant, soft, and how they move. When they touch you, when they speak, it's really dope. But it's a different type of woman that IP walked into. IP discovered it. It's just a different type of woman now. And if you're looking for someone to sit down and have a deep conversation with you, she's not going to do it anymore. So IP, yeah, if you had questions for a woman, she's not even going to go there. Don't look for anything deep out of these right here. I don't think they're anywhere anymore. Because in Japan, it's yes, women, yes, whatever you want until the ring is on, and then it's like Yakuza wife. That's what Japanese call it, Yakuza wife.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I think this just kind of confirms something that I've been thinking about for a while. I've always been a little bit hesitant on it, but I just think this is the case. I just think that men and I will say that I'm glad that you're getting away, unscathed, with most of your money intact. But I just don't believe men should just get married. You know what I mean? Especially marriage for men is an open contract. Like, if you're a man in the 70s in the U.S., you got married. Back then, if you caught your wife cheating, you were able to prove it. She got nothing. Mm-hmm. And then they changed that in the 80s, and it's like, well, I didn't consent to that when I got married in the 70s. So you have no idea what laws are going to. I mean, luckily, the laws are favorable towards you now. So I mean, this might suck now, but this might actually be a blessing in disguise later. Because who knows? I mean, if Korea is going towards this path, maybe the marriage laws change to mirror that in the U.S. And then if this happened later, it could have been a lot worse for you. So
yeah, they're still trying to get. They're still getting a hand on this whole, like, just the divorce thing. I told you about my lawyer was like, hey, it doesn't make sense if he makes all this money and he's able to, support the kids. He's been doing this. He's been doing all these things for her. Why should she have the house? Why should she have this car and him walk away with nothing? And she's talking to a mediator. She's like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Welcome. Well, you might mess around and be a passport bro. Exactly. That shows how new this is to Korea. She's like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense. But to fight your ass off for somebody, for people, and then to be thrown to the side, to be able to be thrown to the side. Well, she thought she was gonna throw me to the side and forget about me and take my money and my house and everything else. And now she's finding out it's not going to happen. I expect to get a phone call pretty soon. Her trying to haggle and get out of this, but it's too damn late.
Hold on. Shout out to Mr. Yu-Gi-Oh Master for the $2 super chat. Hello, IP. Just came in. What did I miss? A classic, brother. Please rewatch the stream. A lot of gems. Thank you, bro, for the support. Much appreciated. All right, brothers, call in. If you have any questions for our guests, we got over 200 people watching, so call in. Get the likes up too. If you have any questions for Pooh, call in. Any more questions, Jam?
A quick one for you, IP. Are you ever going to get your cash back? I mean, your cash app back, or is that just going to be completely like, all right,
Probably done.
It's a lot harder for me to. Yeah,
it's done, bro.
It's
Cash
done.
App is done.
Okay.
Yeah, it's done, bruv.
I got you. Okay. Back. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you have any questions for our guests?
Yeah. Plenty. Just because I feel like Pooh, I feel like he has a good head on his shoulders and he understands women and how they move. So to hear this happen to him, it's like that kind of tells me a lot. It's everyone thinks everyone thinks that it's not going to happen to them, and then it happens to them. So I just kind of. So you said you noticed some signs, right? And this is also the other reason why I think men shouldn't get married, because I think what happened is you notice these signs, but you're already pot committed. You know what I mean? Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, you could see in the interaction. I thought it was weird that they're willing to cross a certain line, even though my wife was there, even though I have a kid right there. I thought that was new. When that's something that's supposed to be frowned upon. I mean, that's basic Confucianism. Do unto others. That's someone's husband, but don't seem to mind anymore. Now the difference, the biggest difference between them and us is there's still that shaming culture. If you gain weight, that's on you, and we get the clown on you until you learn how to lose weight. Divorces are also, but now they have a way of explaining why they got one, and it's usually money, because everyone's a businessman all of a sudden in Korea, and they the business goes to the trash, and then they're in the world of debt. But I could go anywhere. I noticed that I can get looks, I can get comments, breaking the touch barrier. Korean women are very quick to touch, rub your shoulders, everything. It's just different now. Now I see them seeking that instant approval, that instant satisfaction, because they're not going to get it, because they're not in, everyone's coupled up, but no one can get married. So there's things inside their relationship. They're kind of together just to survive. If they're, cohabitating, it's just survival. So there's other things they want, they desire. If they see it outside, they see it in you, they're going to go for it. It's quickly becoming the West. The women are getting easier. You still got to know that, no, they're not going to smile. They don't socialize with each other. They only socialize in their small circle. They're not very open. So it's going to look like they're completely closed off. And if you don't show that if you don't have that kind of aura and willing to step through their barriers, you're not going to get anything from them. So that's where that's where they're always the same right there. As far as the social part, they're socially behind. Damn, smile a little bit. Let me know that can I speak to you? They're not going to be like that. So there's girls where I was like, she was mean mugging me. It looked like she was. I stepped to her and started talking, and I completely broke her down. I completely broke her down, completely. And she started talking to me, and I was like, yo, you ain't in the brothers. What's the problem? That's how I say it. She's like, no, I have no issue with you. As a matter of fact, I'm single. And we go from there. I don't keep her though. But I'm just saying, like, it's just they're not what I thought they were. This traditional woman, she's gone, bro. She's gone. I mean, and they're going fast with every generation. You going to want a woman in her 20s? In Korea? I don't know, bro. I don't know if that's a smart way to go. You got to find another, like a developing country with a very strong culture, where the parents still have some type of say so. This country is different now. Even the parents are losing their control. The teachers sure as hell are. It's different now, man.
Sounds like America, bro. It's exactly like America. Parents in America and in the UK too have no control of their kids doing what they want. It's like parents are scared of their own kids. How can you be a parent and be scared of your own kid and you can't even check them? The culture is just this Western culture is just beyond toxic, beyond demonic. Um, and I think I mentioned to another brother, right? I feel like yes, pass pro bowl is the solution here at the moment, but one day we're gonna have to actually fight against Western culture because eventually it will spread all around the world. So what do we do? Do we keep running, jumping from country to country to country, country to country, or do we just get together and fight back against it? I don't know how to do it, but I feel like at some point we need to face Western culture head on and defeat it once as for all. I don't know how to do it. If there's any ideas, let me know. But I think that's the final boss level, right? Where we have to fight it face to face. Would you agree with that, Pooh?
Um, it's maybe controversial, but what I'm thinking now, after all I've gone through, no, there would be no more running. There'll be no more running from me. No transfer of power. Never again. I would not be transferring my power over to any woman at all. And I'm talking about marriage legally. It's not happening. These women, like I said, they're fickle and they can switch on you. And it's all about their happiness. There's it's probably mostly in the West. You're going to get women that prioritize their happiness. Whereas, there's still places out east or south, still places in South America, Central America, that you can still get a woman who has her heart right. She is in harmony and she is willing to be in harmony with you. But as far as a transfer of power goes, nothing. That is mine. I earned it. I put in the hours. I would not, I rule my kingdom with an iron fist. I don't need a queen to be a king. Not at all. So that's how I look at things now. When I realized that me and my wife were done, it was a weird feeling of excitement because I knew there were going to be no more limits on me, because when you have a woman there, there's going to be some type of restraint that you're going to have professionally, and then even in your ideas and things you want to do in life. No more. I have no limit. My chains are off, and I'm taking off from any point. Like it professionally, I'm launching, bro. I'm ready. I'm loading. Is ready to go. And if I handle myself professionally, I handle my money, I handle my personal matters as far as my mental health. All the other stuff's going to fall in my lap. But I tell women, right, I would not be transferring power again. This is my wallet, and I put in the hours, I put in the time. You're not getting nothing. Forget it. If you think you're here to get something, you might as well walk. I'm the stingiest man you ever met. Well, yeah, there's other things I give out, but it ain't gonna be money, I promise you that.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I think that's the way forward. So it's funny that you said that, and I think it would be head on your shoulders. So the fact that you said that just confirms what I think. I think at this point, you just make yourself as valuable as possible, because, if you're a certain caliber of man, right, whether you're doling out commitment or not, the women they're gonna come. You know what I mean? So, ideally, I would want to have children in marriage. I think that's the ideal, but we don't live in an ideal world. So if this is the case, right, so that I have the leverage always. I'm not going to give up any of my leverage. But I do want to address what IP said about the whole one day we're going to have to fight. I actually disagree with that. Although I do think we should fight. I don't think we should wait, but I do think there's always going to be a bastion, because this ideology, it destroys civilizations. When you're seeing what's happening in Korea, 0.84, it can't last, right? So when a country adopts, the future is births, right? So you're seeing this happen in Europe, you're seeing this happen in America, right? They're bringing countries. I mean, they're bringing people in from populations, right, where they're having excess kids, and the only populations that they're having excess kids is where you have traditionalism. So in Europe, it's the Muslims, right, and in America, it's a Latin community, but they're all people that have traditional values. The second they adopt this Western philosophy, their culture and their civilization dies. So there's always going to be a bastion of freedom. I'm not saying we should run, but I'm saying that it's always going to be there.
I'm not running. 10 toes down, bro. No, I'm 10 toes down. I made my decision. Yeah, it is. I think as far as fighting goes, in a way, we are going to have to fight, because if you have a woman, you have a family, you got to protect them from that. So,
no, can I speak on that a bit? I think you speaking facts there, bro. I've known some people in the UK, right? Men that have families, daughters, and bro, they're heartbroken as to how their daughter just turned against them for no reason. These men have looked after the mom, the daughters, the family, right? They've been good husbands, good fathers, and one day daughter just starts spewing feminist rhetoric, or you oppress mom, blah blah blah, men, patriarchy, and he's thinking, what is going on? Why is she speaking like this? I've been a great father, and I know these men. They are real great men, and daughter just turns against them. Sometimes the wife does, but normally the daughters. That's how the Matrix does it. The Matrix. But let me say this, brothers, right? The quickest way to destroy a man's power or a man's society is through the woman. Women, right, obviously think emotionally. Men think logically. When you feed women enough BS, like Hollywood, they feed them, Batgirl, Wonder Woman, what's that TV show, The Handmaid's Tale, all these agenda movies, all these agenda TV shows, the rappers, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, right? They will feed these kind of messages to women. You don't need a man. Men are oppressing you. Go and sleep around. If you're not sleeping around, you're oppressed. That's how they do it, right? That's how they get your family and your daughters. And before you know it, it's over. Like Pooh said, right? We have to fight this, because if you're gonna have a family, right, and you're gonna have daughters in your family, right, or sons, you need to protect them from the agenda. And if you don't do it, you're going to lose your children and potentially your wife. I've seen it happen in the UK, brothers. So that's why a lot of men are scared to have children nowadays, bro. Go break it. Go on, Pooh. Go on, bro.
The Bible already taught us about what's going on right now. The story of Samson, he's this great man, this powerful man, able to take on armies. He whooped up on an army with the jawbone of an animal, man. Like, think about that. What was his downfall? What was his downfall again? He fell in love. He fell in love. And it, as much as they sell you on love in our society, it really doesn't mean anything. Like your love for your child, that's different. That's much more spiritual. But all the other, that romance crap. Oh, I feel this way. I feel. Oh, I love her. That woman would change on you at any moment. If he wasn't who he was, would it be the same? Because then he was just Samson. He cut off his ponytail. That was it. That was a wrap. I love her. I trust her, and I'll turn my back and then let her do whatever she like. That could have been me, bro. That could have been me. I felt like I got stronger the second I realized all that honor, all that other that crap that's out the window now. It's out the window. I'll never give my power back to anybody. It's mine because I earned it, and it took so much of me just to build myself up. Not just financially, like spiritually, what I had to go through to look inside myself and go, how can I get better at work? How can I be a better man to my family? What happened to me as a child because you got to look back at that too. To affect me in this way, and how is this going to affect me as a father? What kind of father do I want to be? These are the questions I asked myself when I was a teenager, and I just had to. But I had to learn the ropes. I had to go through what I went through, choosing the wrong women, getting played by women, going through depression, just different things until I learned, hey, it's got to be all about you. You got to be that lion. That looks in the mirror and knows what he is, bro. Knows what he is. Not afraid to stick your chest out and flex. That'll come naturally if you do your self-work. But you cannot give while you're building. There's no way you can welcome a woman in your life while you're building. No way. Because she's there to move into the building. She is not there to build. She's going to move elsewhere. It's just not. It's a different day and age. These women. A Korean guy told me, he's like, "Why get married?" He said, "Your intention is to be wealthy. Is it correct? Am I correct?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm a married man, but he said, "If I know what I knew right now, no way would I get married." This is a Korean man talking about Korean women. That you cannot be building if they're in the picture. If you cannot juggle women, you can't do any of that. You got to be about your purpose. You can let them in your life. They serve their purpose and they move on, bro. But they'll become a bill if you let them. If you let them, even the good ones. This is their nature, bro. It just is natural. A woman's nature in this world today, not going to work for you. It's not going to work. So you like this passport, bro, thing about finding women. I'm out on the finding women part. I'm out to find peace. I'm out to find, where my money gets stretched, where my dollar can stretch, where I'm appreciated, where I'm happy, where I can immerse myself in culture that I love and they can love me. If it's not the place for me, I keep moving. So that's where I'm at right now, bro.
Great breakdown there, bro. Let me bring in Mr. X or Othello in the background. What's going on, Othello?
Hello. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah,
Yes,
I came in late to the live, but from what I've heard so far, it's good. I'll rewatch it after the end.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, it's just what you said really about the UK and how people change. And it's something I can also confirm from my experience. So it's just provokes a lot of thoughts really. But just to add, I heard you mention how can we compete against the West? And my own ideas is as passport bros or as IT bros is to think about, I think going further into the future is to think about how are we going to build our own cyberspace, like a black cyberspace or African cyberspace, because what we're dealing with the West, with all this their social media, I don't really find it satisfactory or beneficial. I think we're just coping with it really. So I think that's one method of how we can compete with the West going forward. And when I look at China, for example, with its own cyberspace, its firewall, I think that's a sense of independence and a sense of self-assurance that we lack as Blacks or Africans in this modern time.
Yo, hold on, bro. Yo, you speaking facts there, Mr. Othello. I like what I'm hearing there. Like, based on what you said there, bro, that means it must come from the top then. That means the black men in power in Africa, in the Caribbean, in certain countries just have to say F the West. We gotta preserve our culture and keep it conservative. Like China, for example. Guess what? Guess what's banned in China? Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't seep through the Western culture, but China, if it does seep through, they clamp down on it quickly, right? They got their own Twitter, they got their own Google. We got to start thinking like that. I like that idea, Mr. Othello. But obviously, it has come from the top, right? The senators, the politicians, the presidents, the prime ministers, and unfortunately, bro, the West does control Africa. and the Caribbean, right? It controls most of the world, the resources, the power dynamic structure. Nothing we can do there as average brothers, but one day, right, when we get rid of this Western control, right, from the top, right, perhaps we can do that, bro. That's a great idea. Go on, bro. Carry on.
Sorry, for my example, if so I grew up in Nigeria for the first 8 years, and then migrated with a family to the UK. But in growing up in Nigeria, we're taught computer hardware, and this is a young age in class. We're taught almost like a biology, dissecting a skeleton. We're taught the different parts of computer hardwares, not really software, but we're aware of computers then. So even the powers of the top are aware that this is a situation that we need to get a handle on. But 20 years now, or 18 years now, and I haven't really seen any progress on that front, really. All we hear about is just new films or movies talking about black technological companies, but it's not really, or just some Africans, Nigerians in my case, trying to go to Silicon Valley. So it's a bit too much dependence on what the West is doing. When we bring India into example, for example, India, it's the West has invested in India a lot in the service industry, in software. And to be honest, I've gotten into cybersecurity now, and it was an Indian guy who gave me the idea. But they don't really develop or create anything in terms of software. They don't really develop much that they can depend on. So I see the mentality of the Northeast Asians as a bit very the way they have that self-assurance. It's something I value. I think is to be valued.
Yeah, I definitely agree, bro. So probably you mentioned how you've personally experienced, or you know people that women have switched up on their husbands or boyfriends. Do you want to give an example or two as to what happened there and how they switched up in the UK?
It's not just just to speak from my own personal experience. Yes, women do switch up, but I find also, like, you talk about the Matrix, and I think that's a good way to describe it. But like, I have younger sisters, so 2 younger sisters. So this is a bit more less romantic, more familiar. Growing up in Nigeria, we were quite young. It was very cordial, a very brotherly, sisterly relationship. But the minute we come to the UK, and you notice those changes very quickly. I don't know why. As soon as you step out the airport, the relationship becomes a bit more frosty, a bit more everyone's out for themselves, a bit more constant blame. They're trying to shift the blame on you. They're trying to scapegoat you. So quite a few times. So it's something that has just made me keep my distance from family, and just to rely mostly on what I know and religion in a certain way. And actually, for a while now, I've been navigating life just independently, doing what I need to do to get by. But I'm happy to just find this community of brothers who are a bit more with it, in terms of they understand, I feel a certain resonance with this community so far.
Well, I mean, yeah, bro. I know a lot of brothers that have distanced themselves from their sisters, sometimes their mums, sometimes the cousins,
Yes.
cousins, because the feminism, and for some reason it's just getting too strong, and they're thinking, what have I done? Right? I'm just a man. Like, why are you saying all these things? Why are you blaming me for that? Blah blah blah. I don't control the world or the country, and that's put in place by the powers that be, because they're teaching these young girls crazy ideas, right? That men are the problem, right? In high school, in university. I remember at university, right? We had feminism classes, and I was in some of those classes, right? And the rhetoric coming out of the lecturers, female lecturers, in terms of men this, men that, and I'm thinking, nah, they're doing this on purpose to try and program and brainwash these women, and it's working, bro. It's working.
It's I think, especially now as an adult, I've noticed that most of the women in my life, they're very keen on trying to institutionalize me. And what do I mean by institutionalize me? whenever I'm in their presence, they get very uncomfortable, or they start saying that they get very insecure and say they sense danger. So how do they try to institutionalize me? By one, trying to promote education to an extreme degree, like Western education, or trying to get you imprisoned, or they're trying to get you sent to a psychiatric hospital for evaluation. So, and this is personal experience as well. So far I've managed to keep out of all three. Now, I mean, I've got the education, but I don't want to go no further into it. I'm trying to promote more African indigenous knowledge production. But I've managed to keep out of all three, but it's been a very risky path I've taken to speak here.
No. Speaking fast, man. I can speak on my personal experience. I don't want to speak too much about it, but I've had to check myself out of such situations because it was just getting too hot, and I just knew the feminism was just getting too, what was coming out of certain women's mouths in certain situations. I had to just get myself out of it because I know what's happening here. It's gaslighting, blah blah blah, and thank the Lord that nothing happened there. But there's some evilness going on, brothers, and y'all gotta be careful, man. Don't let them get you. Don't let them get you. Hold on. Shout out to Mr. Babatunde for the $7.99 Australian super chat. Thank you, bro. Shout out IP watching from Australia. Shout out to the guests as well. Woman moving crazy out here. I think men should find women in more conservative countries. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, on that point there, I have huge respect for the Middle East and Islam, right? It appears to me that Islam, right, and the Middle East, right, are keeping things in check, right? They're doing something right. Because even in the UK, I see a bunch of chicks in their hijabs on, and they look decent. They're not wilding out, all right? I know in the Middle East, in all the Middle Eastern countries, the women are kept in check there. There's no nonsense that's going around there. If there is, they'll clamp down on it, and they're very conservative, right? We got a big problem here with this Western culture, and I think we got to fight it, bruv. Enough of this, and this is why I got to give some props to AT, right? You know who he is. I don't want to keep trying to keep it coded. AT, and other dudes in the RP space, right? I don't agree with what they say totally, but there's been some pushback there. Men are awakening slowly, because it's been over a decade of just pure programming. I was at university, right? And I had to take feminism classes. I'm like, what's this? I didn't sign up for this in my module, but it's the programming, brothers. It ain't right, bruv. Yeah, y'all think America is bad? Come to the UK. Y'all think Korea is bad? Come to the UK, bruv. What's happening in America, what's happening in Korea is also happening in the UK too. A bunch of masculine women that are spewing nonsense rhetoric.
Just to add as well, what makes the UK even worse is this certain Victorian mentality that a lot of the women have, and there's this, and also is the Victorian mentality in the society where they feel white knights, like almost that knight and princess, and then they tell you of the English rose just to bring it into. So when you grow up as a boy, you want to be idealistic, you want to think the best. But as you start to figure it out, you start to see this thing called the rose. It's not so. It's just full of thorns, really. So it changes the way it's coming to that reality is a bit jarring, actually.
Facts, man. Absolute facts. Jam, Pooh, y'all want to chime in on what we've been discussing, or you have any questions, or what's going on? Or, brothers, feel free to go on, Pooh.
I've always fantasized about Black people coming together and having their own, building their own but what I found as I grown up, I've become an adult, and I've gone through things. I was always the first on board for helping someone with my skin. And what I've learned, especially with traveling, is I run into Africans, and our relationship isn't the best. It seems there's some type of strain there that is hard to explain. They don't look at me like they see themselves. And then I think I go, man, I can barely get 5 black men to get on the same page in order to accomplish something. I guess that's why it's so hard to win an NBA championship. It's just hard to get everybody on the same page. As much as I would like, I think it'd be dope to have our own. I think for our future is going to be in pockets. It's just a certain, it almost tribal again, where it's like, okay, this classification, I hate to say classification. There's this type of black person. Because we're not all the same. We don't agree on the same things. We're very different. As a matter of fact, even if you may share black skin, but what you are on the inside, we're probably more diverse than any other race of people out there. So you look across, you see a black person, but they may not really be black. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to number one, find like-minded people that believe a certain way of maybe culture or religion, just to get on the same page somewhere. Like, can we agree on something? And then can we build together without fussing and fighting over trivial things? Can we do that? Can we just stick to the mission and not worried about what, no more pocket watching or, dealing, worrying about each other's woman or the jealousy, where, I come from the hood. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I sat and watched us destroy ourselves. I'm from a neighborhood of nothing but lost boys. And I say lost boys because there were no fathers. Just a bunch of boys running around, and their mothers, and they, and most of their mothers were out, and we were all living at our grandma's house. And it was just a bunch of people that it was constantly fighting in the neighborhood, getting all this jumping all over each other over trivial things, embarrassing each other. That's the classification I was in. Then I moved up, and started getting more money, and I went to another classification of black person. And then, but we still have the same symptoms. It's like, can we get on the same page at all? Like, can we agree on something? I guess that's why 300, the movie 300, it appeals to me so much, because I was like, wouldn't that be dope if we were like, forget this, let's get on this page right here. We're going to do this. We're all on mission, and and this is how it's going to turn out. Can we get on the same page? We won't. Like, I would love that, man. I would love that more than anything. And look at Passport Bros. There's so much fight. Like, Thailand is nah. So we're different there too, as far as our ideology. What is a passport bro? What is it? And they only use one type. One type of passport bro. And it's not us. We're not the example they want. It's a little too positive of black man. Empowering black man sounds dangerous. Not a good idea. So Pookie's in the lead. Pookie has to lead us. We're not into that. So that's another separation. We're separated by so many ways. I don't know that there's no way going back. We have to find ourselves in pockets.
Damn. Wow. This has been an incredible stream. I'm happy we're having this discussion. And I hope this stream does very well, because I want it to reach as much people as possible in terms of not only the South Korean discussion, but in terms of the future of brothers, right? The future of marriage, if you're going to get married, the future of betting well, how to do so. And press 1 in the chat if you agree with this statement. But do some of y'all have parents that are asking y'all, where's a girlfriend? where's the wife? You know, why don't you find a woman from the block over there, or that or that city in the country? It's like they don't understand what kind of world we live in right now in 2024. This ain't the 50s anymore. This ain't the 60s. The women have changed completely. It's been a complete 360. Women are not the same anymore in the West. And they don't listen. Right? They don't listen. Now, I'm all about respecting, obviously, parents. I'm all about respecting, obviously, elders. There's got to be a time where you got to push back and let them know, listen, right? I love you, dad. I love you, mom. But we live in a world that is different from the world you lived in. And some of them just don't get it. They don't get it.
Yeah.
It's war. It's war out here, man. It's really is war. They don't know that there's war against men. There's war against our young boys in the schools. And all they care about, get married, have kids, cool. But it has to be with the right woman. Not no black girl from the block because she's black and you want kids quickly. It's not how it flipping works. It's a different world, different time. You want to say something, Jem?
No, I was just agreeing with you. This happened to myself. I mean, they're saying, you've reached the status monetarily. You're about to reach. I still have plenty of time, but I guess for a woman's age, I'm about to reach that point. And they're saying, why don't you find a good girl and settle down? They're actively interested in my love life, and I've been very frank with them, especially my mother, about why I'm not doing that and why I probably will never. I mean, I just had the discussion the other day because I was talking to this Thai girl. I just came back from Thailand, and my mom's asking, but she's asking questions that are like leading towards, is this going to be something serious, etc. And I said, I told her, I said, well, we'll see. Who knows? Probably not. But even if it does happen, I'm not marrying her, and I'm not bringing her to the States, because she said that I should bring her, even if I'm not going to get married. If I impregnate her, I should bring her to the States, so that way my kids are citizens. And I'm like, I'm not risking that. I'd rather risk my kids not being American citizens and follow the paperwork. If that doesn't happen, then so be it. Than for me to risk losing my power with these women. I mean, that's just, I think that's the way you have to play. And it's unfortunate because I feel like it's not my decision. I feel like I'm forced to make this decision. It feels like, like you're playing chess, and I'm in a mating net and I'm making moves that in order to survive, but I'm not. These are not the moves I want to make. But that's unfortunately the position we're in. I mean, I sent you a PayPal kind of eliciting my thoughts on this. If you could read that kind of just summarizes what I think regarding this. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it's tough. I mean, now, like I said, I mean, it's so hard to communicate now because they don't want us to be a collective. I mean, that's obvious, right? And they control our communicative device. I mean, they know that. I mean, look, I mean, you say certain things, right? The stream goes wonky, right? I'm IP. I know you know this, right? So I mean, they literally control the means we use to communicate. I'm sure not many of us have very close friends that we can count on, right? I have a few, but I can only count on one hand that I would trust with. If something really went down, and I'm sure people have even less than that. And yeah, it's hard to build that way. And like I said, I don't think this is a coincidence. I think this is they're doing this for a reason. We talk about you're absolutely right. To hurt the man, the easiest way is to go through the woman. But I could say it's easily the same way with a child. I mean, if we had children and they gave children the same rights that they gave the women, you would have the exact same issues, if not more. In reality, what they're doing is they're just trying to take the power away from the man, and they're using these buzzwords like equality and whatever in order to, in order to cede to the man's empathy or sympathy. Because in reality, the only reason why they're able to do this is because we see power, right? If we say no, I mean, clearly you see this, right, in the Muslim world, and IP. I know you're Christian, but I think you and I have the same admiration, right? For the Muslim population. I'm not religious. I was raised Christian, but I'm not religious anymore. But I do see myself converting to Islam if I plan to have a family, because I think that's the best bet to shielding your family from this debauchery that we have going on in the West and worldwide.
Facts, bro. Let me read your donation. Shout out to Mr. Shinobu. for the £2 PayPal donation. Thank you, bro. This is all planned. They are purposely trying to divide us because and atomize us because individually we are very weak. Yes, indeed. A lot of us have very few people we can count on. Very true. While we must avoid certain people in order to survive, just know this is planned. They are forcing you into a corner where you feel that you are making the decisions, but in reality, you are in a mating net, and they are meticulously moving you towards checkmate. Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Did you want to say something there, Pooh? You mute yourself.
Don't play. That's the name of the game. Don't play. I'm not playing anymore. That's it. Like I'm removing myself from being eligible to play. I'm out of this game. I'm gonna play by my rules. I'm gonna take my money, my resources, and my hard work, and I'll go elsewhere. I don't have to deal with a woman at all. Not in any long-term relationship at all. I'm done playing. Like my wife, she tried to get me up out of there. She talks about, hey, maybe we can get divorced through the states, and I get alimony. She's talking trash like this, and I quickly reacted. Got a Korean lawyer. I was like, no, we doing this through Korea, and there's no such thing as alimony, so you can hang it up, and things are going to be divided properly. And it's all against what she wanted. I let her know, hey, I'm not going to play with you. I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to sit there and let you build your wealth off my hard work and all my sweat and all the things that I've gone through in order to attain this. So the idea is just not to play at all. And like I said, the transfer of power is not happening for me like ever again. I'll never allow a woman to believe or attain that kind of power over me or feel like she can hurt me at all, like my wife has. I'm not jaded at all. I learned a lesson, and I'm appreciative of the lesson, but I am taking it as a lesson, and that is what it is, bro. So the way I look at women is different. The way I look at the world is different. Like, okay, yeah, if you're out to get me, I am not going to play. I value myself as I identify as a father. That's the first thing I tell you. I am a father, very proud, and I'm not going to stop being a father. Other than that, I would not be a husband. I would not be some utility for some woman to use me like a IV and to fuel her happiness in her life, while she posts things I bought her on Instagram, and ignores the fact that I'm that I put in that hard work, 40 hours a week, sometimes 40 plus. I used to work, when I was gone, I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. It's not just in terms of money. That is time. That's time on your body. That's your mind. It's so much though. It's so much value in that, and it's all to protect your family, to feed them, which is what it's supposed to be worth it. But all it is nothing but a dollar. It's a dollar sign for her. Like I can't. I'm not playing anymore. I'm not going to play in this game. So I advise you guys to do the same. Like, invest in yourself, invest your time. You cannot get that back. It's nothing more valuable than your time. Like how you look, like who you are. And other than that, everything else can fall to the wayside, as far as I'm concerned.
The fact that you mentioned, she tried to do it through the American court system, that just tells you that these women know what they're doing. They're not stupid. They know what countries, right, hate men, and what countries will favor women in any situation possible, including divorce, right, and the court system. The fact that she was pushing to do it for America, they know, brothers. They're not stupid. So don't, like, any woman you deal with, right, assume she knows what she's doing. Assume she's smart, she's educated, she knows the laws, blah, 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 so you don't get caught out, right? For her to actually try and suggest that means that she's a very conniving plotter. She's been plotting on how to get Pooh for everything she can.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, Pooh knows that now we're doing it in Korea. We live here. We've been here the majority of the time. Why are we doing it in America? Nice one, bro. Obviously, she wants to do it in America. You want to do it in Korea. Who decides where you get divorced? Is it the Korean court system, or and how's that defined?
Well, once I realized that all I had to do was really move fast and say, "Hey, you're getting sued." She's getting sued. So I went to Gangnam, and I tried to find the hottest lawyer out there, and I explained my situation. My lawyer is a woman, so to hear a Korean woman doing things like this, she's almost apologizing on her behalf. Like, what? Like, you mean, okay, how much money do you make? That's okay, that's more than most people here. I make 3 times what the national average in Korea. Okay, so it's not a matter of money. Okay, so what does she want? What is she asking for? And I explain it to her. And she's like, what is this woman on? And she said, you know what? I am sorry. She you have a wife, a kid, she's in her mid-30s, and now you want to step out there? Like, it does. She's like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, once I got with her, I was like, hey, do I have to go through America at all? And she said no. And she said, hey, don't worry, Korea doesn't have a system of alimony. That's why there's no system of alimony. So Korea's reason for divorcing is completely different from a Western woman. It's not about her happiness. It's about, okay, I'm being crushed financially. We need to separate, because for the benefit of us both, we need to get away from each other. That's their reason. That's what, and that's how bad Korea is, because Korea is right behind America as far as divorce rates, right? It's not over happiness. So when I explained to her, I was like, yeah, my wife says she just wants her freedom and not to be told what to do anymore. She started laughing. I was like, well, then what do you do? Like, what's a wife then? She doesn't work. She's one of the only Korean women that don't have to work. And I'm a Westerner. So it's like, she's like, what does she want? Exactly. She wants that Western freedom. I'm gonna take everything. I'm gonna get the kids. I'm gonna get at least 60% of that house. That house is expensive. I'm gonna get a piece of everything. And I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna put it in my own pocket, and I would never give it back again.
Yes. Incredible. Shout out to Pooh. Shout out to Echelon Fox for the support. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. What's up, IP? I'm one of your former IT students. Awesome, brother. Lovely seeing my former students. I love the podcast, and thanks to Pooh for the info on South Korea. We have to have a strong we have to put strong contingency plans in place, so if she cold switches on us, she'll never recover from. Yes, indeed. One of those plans could be, obviously, live in a country where divorce laws are not as bad and screwed up like the West. Number 2, never tell your girlfriend or your wife your investments. Don't tell her you have cryptocurrency or stocks. Keep that away from her. Hide it as good as possible. Get a good lawyer, etc., etc. Okay. Number 3. Being in a traditional conservative country, but that's not foolproof. As you know, South Korea is conservative, but the matrix got there. So all you can do is try and lower the impact, because women will get something, right? Whether it's 20%, 30%, they'll get something, right? We need to lower that impact, lower it as good as possible. Look at how, certain communities do it. Have trust. Have have all these sort of policies in place where you can't be screwed over by these women. But yeah, I definitely agree there, bro. This is also for me, right? This is also educational for me, very educational. It's sad we're living in a world like this, but it's been done on purpose by the powers that be, and we know who is behind it. I ain't gonna say no names, but I think it's one particular group of people. I ain't gonna say no names, and don't mention their name in the live stream chat. Okay, one group of people are responsible for Western garbage. Since the 70s and 60s specifically, they've pushed it. I look at who they are, their background, it always correlates to one particular group of people. It's that group of people. I ain't gonna say no names, but it's them. And we got to deal with them, or we got to deal with Western culture once and for all, because I'm sick of it, brothers. I'm sick of it. All right, you want to say something, Mr. Othello?
No, I'm in agreement. Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit wary just about them group of people, because I think some of it might just be propaganda coming from the alt-right, so to speak. So,
all right, brother, let's keep it away from them, please.
okay,
I don't want to speak too much about them, bro.
okay, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I agree. The main thing I think is information space. We need to like I've already mentioned, cyberspace. It's something, because I'm looking right now. I'm just reading up on US trying to get TikTok to sell itself to a Western firm. And why are they doing this? What do they value most about TikTok? Is the algorithm, the proprietary algorithm of TikTok. So for me, I think as brothers, as educated brothers, that's where we need to be looking to moving forward and thinking of the future. It's because I find a lot of the information, like, this is why I like your channel. It produces valuable intel, and it produces it in quite a succinct manner. But a lot of the information, we lack intel in the West as brothers, and we lack good quality information. That's just what I'll say.
I mean, I can only do what I can, to be honest. Obviously, I can only do what I can, to help the brothers out and give them all the info they need. Shout out to Mr. Obscure Artiste for the $5 super chat. Dopamine is the coke of the 21st century. Chasing those likes will prove just as expensive as a white powder addiction and be just as destructive. Yes, indeed. Social media is poison to women. If you meet a woman that isn't into social media like that, you're a very lucky man. You are a very, very lucky man. We got women in the West nowadays getting their boyfriends to be their personal photographers. Take this, take that. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? How are you on a date, right? And the first thing a Western woman thinks, right, is, I want to get selfies. I want to get pictures. Take me next to this waterfall, up to here for Instagram, for Facebook. That's disrespectful. That is totally disrespectful and narcissist. Right?
You might not have thought I had on that, actually. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that is I think that's a huge red flag. I've never taken a picture for a girl that I've been dating, or just been seeing. Like, I've never done that. And actually, I just wanted to ask, because I remember Pooh, you mentioned about that. You said you became like a personal photographer. You didn't get I remember the first time that happened to me, I got asked. Like, I had an instinctual feeling of something's not right here. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't get that when these girls were asking me to take pictures, stuff like that, especially when they don't want to post you in the pictures. They want to act like it's all on them.
Because I try not to bring too much of my Western mindset. I see everybody doing it, bro. Like, they're gonna take the picture with or without you. But if you take them to a place and they're like, these Korean women, they're super excited, like extremely hyped. And you're looking around, you're like, okay, everyone's taking a picture of their girl. It's really weird, but all right. So I don't want to be on your gram anyway. That's how I look at it. I'm not claiming you anyway. So here, I'll take a picture. Enjoy your time here. We'll see how this goes. I'll snap a picture. That is that Eastern Asian girl culture where they all hype. They take a picture. They got they're making a little peace sign, but beside that, that corny stuff, man.
Very corny.
Yeah. So I let them do it. I excuse it because I'm like, okay, you're not a Westerner. You're from the East. So I'll say, okay, cool. I'll snap the shot. It gets to be a little too much, and it also depends on age group. So with the 24-year-old, I was like, yo, how many shots do you need to take? But also I knew she was 24. She was 24. She's not going to have a lot of money. For where I'm taking her, she's probably not going back. So she better take a picture. So it is what it is.
Facts, absolute facts. Hold on. Shout out to Mr. Shout out to Mr. The Black Muslim in the building for the support. Thank you, the Black Muslim. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome back. Hope you're well. In Islam, the divorce is negotiated before you get married. It's part of the marriage contract. In the event of divorce, you get this, the kids go here, etc., etc. Yeah, I can get down with that. That's great, bro. Hopefully the man doesn't get too screwed over when it comes to divorces in Islam. Can you let us know in the chat, Black Muslim? Thank you, brother. Shout out to Mr. DJM 8201 for the $5 super chat. It does surprise me that South Korea has gotten poisoned. Too many American kids like K-pop. K-pop is tailored towards the American audience. Yes, indeed, man. And I think P mentioned that, the average person in South Korea isn't some sort of K-pop fanatic. It's an American thing. Isn't that right, Pooh?
Yeah, they'll look at you with a funny face if you mention K-pop to them. They start laughing. It's something that they make fun of, for the most part, and they can't even believe how much we eat that stuff up. K-pop is still around because America is eating it up. Now they got K-pop camps in Korea, so it's another way for them to make money from a Westerner. So now you got all these white women, black women, and it's crazy. You imagine watching a black woman in a K-pop group. You think that's ever going to happen?
Nope.
But they'll be happily take your money, happily sell you bleaching products, happily sell you some relaxer to relax your hair and straighten it out and get as Korean as you can. They'll happily sell you this so you can buy into that dream and sit here and be a plaything, because that's all that's going to happen. Is that that's just what it is. It's like selling Christmas, really, but they get to do it all year round. It's $1 billion industry, so why slow down? They'll copy us. They'll study our moves, write it down, go and go work on it in the studio, and exclude us from everything. Because they got to sell it to the West as something different. They can't include us. We cannot be included because they got it from us. So they can't they got to repackage it as something different. As this is Korean. You stick a black person in there, and you're pretty much selling the same thing. So they got to exclude us. And then we're also going to look very powerful if we're in everybody's stuff. You say, "Wow, man, you guys are really." I mean, black people are everywhere. We are everywhere. But in order to sell that stuff to mainly white media in America, in the UK, they got to repackage it and say and tell you it's Korean, although it is ours, no doubt about it.
Facts, absolute facts. Shout out to Mr. Darius for the support. Thank you, bro. Peace to the Saints. Kuala Lumpur was awesome. Darius, how was Kuala Lumpur? Why was it awesome, brother? Are the women checking for brothers? Are they wifey? Are they conservative? Let me know about Malaysia, bro, please. That'd be great. Let me know in the chat. And Darius, feel free to also send me a DM, brother, on IG. Let's touch base. I definitely want to hear about your Kuala Lumpur experience, and maybe get you on a channel in the future, bro. That'd be awesome. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let me bring in Mr. Black Muslim. It says device is not connected, brother, so I can't bring you in, Black Muslim. I think you need to drop off, brother, and jump back in. It should fix it for you, bro. VT, you're in the building there. Yeah, you're now confirmed, Black Muslim. Thank you, brother. Let me bring in Mr. VT first, Black Muslim. I'll get you in after, bro. VT, camera on or camera off? It's up to you. Give me a thumbs up for camera on. Okay, all right. Turn the camera off. Okay, let me bring in Mr. VT in the background. What's going on, VT? How you doing, bro?
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Good,
All
brother.
bro.
How are you?
All good.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to chime in on the Korean propaganda because some of the girls I dated, they were heavily into like the Korean stuff. Like I dated a girl in Thailand she religiously watched K dramas. I dated a girl in Indonesia. She was like a super K-pop fan. And I see in the Korean dudes that come out here. I'm in Vietnam right now, and I see the Korean dudes that come out here, they're getting mad attention from the locals. So yeah, that Korean propaganda is spreading all over the world. I even hooked up with a girl in Ecuador that was into K-pop. So it's all over the place.
Have you been to Peru, Paraguay, or Uruguay before?
Yes, I've been to Peru and Uruguay. I've never been to Paraguay.
Brother, can we do it? Can we do streams on Peru and Uruguay, brother? Do you have intel for that?
I haven't dated there in those countries, but I only spent like 2 weeks in Peru, and I've spent like a week in Uruguay.
Okay. Do you have intel in terms of women there, infrastructure, how things go out there in terms of the normal streams there for the channel?
Yes, I have intel on infrastructure and cost of living in a lot of those places.
And how the women are in terms of, are they feminine, submissive, and what you observed from an outside perspective, yeah?
Yeah, I have some perspective on that.
Okay, all right, brother. Let's get it done, brother. ASAP, please. Because I need that intel. Because I need to, brother, I know it's going there, so can we get that done ASAP, brother? How does that sound, bro?
All right. I'll hit
Awesome.
you up on Instagram.
Yes, please. Send me a dim on IG, brother. That'd be great. So, brother, VT, Jared, do you want to chime? Have you watched the stream from the beginning, or you just joined?
I had got in like part of the way when he was talking about he was on his marriage. I forgot, and then I had fell asleep and I woke up again.
Okay, all right, brother.
So long stream.
Do you have any question before I go into Black Muslim, or?
I just said what I wanted to say, but you can move on.
Okay, thank you, VT. Hit me up on IG. Thank you, brother. But I'll put you on mute there, bro. Let me bring in Mr. Black Muslim in the background, okay? Awesome. What's going on, Black Muslim? How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's up, IP, man? You sound exhausted, bro. What's going on, fellas?
Hey. All good, brother. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Hey, I just wanted to expound a little bit. I don't want to keep you guys too late. On that post, I said, like, the way it's set up is like it's meant for men to get married and have relationships, and women to get married and have relationships. And there's pros for both of them. And marriage isn't supposed to be like what you see today, like this crazy difficulty, this disaster for one group, this destruction of the family group. Is not supposed to be like that. So before you even get married, you walk to the girl, you talk to her, and you negotiate the divorce ahead of time. And some romantic is going to say, "Oh, this is terrible. You guys are planning for a divorce." That's their plan. They use that when you come from a Western society, because that's how they have to, get you to not pay attention to what may happen. You know what I'm saying? Just plan that I'm going to love you forever and you're going to love me forever. And then on Thursday, she's going to say, I fell out of love. I just don't love you anymore. So anyways, what I'm saying that to say is like, you do plan for the divorce. In the event of divorce, you say like, in the event of divorce, this is how much money you get. This is what you get. And the kids go here like that. So for me, for example, like I was married for 13 years. When my divorce happened, my wife got XYZ and the kids came to live with me. You know what I'm saying? So I have complete custody of my children. They all live with me. And so that's the way, like, we didn't have to argue. There was no fight. Like I hear fellas talking about like they got to get lawyers and they got to go to court. We already had a marriage contract from day one. You know what I'm saying? And if she's not agreeing to that, that's fine. We don't have to get married. Why would I marry a woman that's going to put me in a situation that when the divorce may come around, we going to have to argue and fight? Remember, fellas, it's so many women. Like I just saw a video about the women in Belize saying, could 1,000 men please come to the country so it won't be 1 to 12 no more?
So let me ask this question, Black Muslim, right? So in the Islamic faith, right, before you get married, you agree on divorce terms. So let's say, brother, right, at the time, let's say your current assets before getting married, you have no property, right? But when you get married, you buy a property after you get married. So obviously, but that wasn't in the marriage contract who gets a property because you bought it after marriage, right? So how does that work? How does that work?
So the thing is, it's the woman is not entitled to it. So for example, like you said, I didn't have a house before we got married, but now I have a house. The woman's not entitled to it. Now you got to think about it. The father is the one who should get the child. Okay. And we all know, you never heard a rapper say, I sold crack out my daddy house, right? He always sold crack out his mama house. So the father is the one who's necessary to get the child. And the house is necessary for the child to have a home. So the best person to have the home is the father. Typically in Muslim countries, the woman goes back to her father's house. Okay? She goes back to her parents' house. She goes back to her family house, stuff like that. Now, we got to go back to the beginning. In Muslim marriages, there's a mahr, right? There's a dowry. A woman can ask for whatever dowry she wants, and she can do whatever she wants with that dowry. And you can't put no limit on her dowry. If she feels like this is what she worth, this is what she worth. So if a woman come up and say, I want a house as my wedding gift, right? That means after we get divorced, I have a house. This is up to the woman to be, thoughtful enough that, I'm about to put my time and effort and be a stay-at-home wife and do everything this man wants me to do. And if he wakes up one day and doesn't want to be with me no more, I still have something to fall back on. So women can ask for all different types of things. Some women might say, I just need $20,000. That's enough for me to buy a house in my current country and do X, Y, and Z and whatever, or to start a business or whatever I have to do. So the woman takes from her dowry. That's what the dowry is for. That's why you give the woman the dowry in the first place. So she can have that to do whatever, to build whatever wealth she needs to build. You know what I'm saying? So, and Islam is very clear cut on like inheritance and all that other kind of stuff. So there's multiple ways for women to get money, wealth, and property, and so if you did marry her and you guys bought a house, the house should go to the father because that's where the children should be residing. The ideology of giving the kids to the mother, there's multiple things that's bad with that. The first thing that's bad with that is that the kids don't get discipline, and they need the discipline more than anything, right? More than the love and all that stuff, they need the discipline. The secondary thing is they also it keeps the man focused on the community, the society, the world that we live in, right? When men don't have the responsibility of the children that they make, right, they become part of the problem. This is how you get Pookies and Ray Rays. I met a guy who had 11 kids with 7 baby mamas. It was insane. You know what I'm saying? How is this guy running around making more kids, and he lived in one of those, how you rent a room in a house? You don't even have a house. He rents a room in a house. So how do you even get to this place? Because this guy never had to take responsibility for the first child he made. So men should have to take responsibility for those children, and that's the necessary reason why they need the house that they acquired during the marriage. But then also, so those are the things. It puts responsibility on the men, and it also creates a different society. You get societies where people are more conscious, they're more, and governments don't want stuff like that, because when you sit back and think about it, if I'm focused on taking care of my children and raising them up, I'm thinking about my son's wealth, right? And so if I'm thinking about my son's wealth, I'm thinking about how the government is increasing interest or increasing taxes or doing this with the money and destroying this. Like, why aren't we repairing bridges and what's going on with the college system? I'm going to think about those things, right? Because I think about not my future. My future is pretty good, but I'm thinking about my son's future. And so that makes men stand up against their government when the government becomes tyrannical. And so having it the other way around, where the woman takes the kids, right, and she takes the house and she takes all those things, well, all she cares about is when is she going to have another good time, right? And I'm not saying this is all women, but the majority is like, when can I have a good time? I need time for me. I need to do this. It's me, because it's all emotional, right? The motivation, the reason why we go in a certain direction it becomes motivational, right? That's why those mothers never stopped their sons from selling crack out their mama house, right? It's a reason for all that. She didn't have the forethought to be like, you doing this is going to create this kind of problem in the community. It's going to do this. It's going to destroy this. The house values are going to go down. No one thought about that. You know what I'm saying? When it was that way. So we like to keep it where the responsibility relies on the men. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But you negotiate that contract prior to the marriage, and so you can walk into the marriage without even being stressed. You could actually focus on being good to the person and loving the person, because you ain't got to worry in the back of your mind it's some sideways stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry like she plotting. There's nothing to plot. You took away the plot. See, right now we sitting there having discussions about how these women are all plotting. Take away the plot from the beginning. The plot is gone. She can't sit here and make all these plans to ruin you or take your money. We already got a contract that you agreed to that says this is what I get when I leave. You know what I'm saying? Or I got all of my payment up front. And then it comes down to the women who have the most reasonable mahars, right? You got women in Saudi and Dubai talking about I need $500,000. Well, you're not getting married. Not to me, at least. You know what I'm saying? But you got women in Morocco saying, give me 10,000. Okay, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I already paid my wife everything I ever have to pay her. If she gets divorced from me, that's her choice. You know what I'm saying? And then it creates a mind state of I can continue to build here with this family that I already started. I can continue to invest into my family. See, my wife already got paid. So now everything else she gets is bonus. If she gets a house built for her, that's bonus. If she gets a car, that's bonus. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
Definitely. I agree. You should definitely protect yourself. That's why I'm saying protect yourself day one. Don't even start the marriage. I tell my daughter all the time, don't even like a guy until he fits your criteria. I tell my son, don't even deal with a woman who doesn't fit all of the things you want. You know what I'm saying? Like if she don't fit all your check marks, she don't check all your boxes, don't even start having emotions for them. So I agree, definitely protect yourself day one from the beginning. Like before you even start, like this whole thing of like getting married and then trying to protect yourself towards the end of the marriage it's not really a good idea, and it becomes very difficult. And this is an industry, right? The lawyers want this to continue. I'm getting paid for fighting in court for things that, whatever, like that. And most countries like Morocco and other like Muslim countries, the man's wealth is the man's wealth and the woman's wealth is the woman's wealth. There is no like split the wealth 50-50. I think we talked about this in the stream that I did with you.
Yes, we did. So, brother, so what happens when a divorce happens in the Islamic religion, right? Do they go to Islamic courts, or do some women go rogue and go to Western courts?
No, in America, in America, the women do go rogue because they know they're going to get more, right? So they do go rogue and they go to the Western courts and they do as much damage as they can. And guys like end up killing themselves or getting on planes and leaving. It's crazy, especially when you don't come from this kind of culture. It's really shocking. Like I've seen an Arab guy in California, man, making like $500,000 a year, man. Dude just was like, I don't think he killed himself, but I know he was like the last thing I seen.
Deleting himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you are. I'm sorry. Yeah, he deleted himself. I don't know what happened. But it was really bad. Like it was really shocking for him to have this happen to him, and if he wasn't from here, he was from like the Arab countries. So then you got the women here, the women when they come to the America, they change, bro. Like like brother said, man, they really really switch up because they know that this country is pro the destruction of family, pro the destruction of society. So like they use it as much as they can because they're very material people. So
let me ask this. Okay, so finish your point, sorry, bro.
No, go ahead.
So let me ask a question to everyone on the channel, right, and on the panel too, and on the live stream chat. Is it worth getting married? Should we, so let's say, right, wouldn't the better alternative be like have a long-term girlfriend and have children with her, but don't get married? Is that something that brothers would consider doing? Press A2 in the live stream chat. You have a long-term girlfriend, you both like each other, you have kids, but you don't get married. So and brothers on the panel, if you want to speak up and agree or disagree, let me know. Because I'm thinking, obviously, like for example, right, some of us come from traditional backgrounds. We have parents that are pressing us to get married, but again, our parents, right, need to understand that we live in a different time zone. We live in a different time zone. The 70s isn't coming back. This ain't the 70s or 60s. This is the 2020s era. Marriage in many cases means nothing. Women don't take it seriously. So wouldn't, having a long-term girlfriend, having kids with her, right, give you more protection? Who agrees or disagrees with me? Go on, you want to say something, Pooh?
I'm with you, man. Like the marriage thing, I'm out on that. Yeah, it's fresh for me right now, but I took the time out to think about just where we're headed right now. I'm in disbelief, especially when I found out more about Japan, and people aren't getting together anymore. People aren't having kids anymore at all. So it's wherever these problems travel is usually something. It has something to do with the economy. It has something to do with the all the guys in charge. It's like your womanist movement. There's a connection there with the economy. They're definitely going to be in your pocket when it comes to marriage. As soon as the government gets your name down, you put the ink down to the paper. It's like they get in her ear. They get in her ear. You don't need him, and then don't worry, girl. We're going to take care of you. As a matter of fact, hit him for child support. We'll tax that, and then that's how we get our bread. It's just it's very the world is very anti-man. I'm gonna go somewhere where a woman, like I said, respects her father, respects me, respects what I do, respects my time, and like I said, it'd be reciprocated. I also honor her as my wife. I respect her. I do things for her. Like I always said, a good relationship, a healthy one is 100-100. You cannot split these tasks down 50-50 because someone's going to feel like they're doing most of the work. There is no 50-50. It's got to be, you got to go all the way. So this seems impossible now. I'm just going to go, I'm not going to play. I'm not going to get married. If I want, if I want more kids, or if I want to keep populating the world, I'll get a girlfriend. We can cohabitate, I guess, and then we go from there. But I'm not letting the government put their little greedy hands in my life ever again.
Absolutely.
So I agree, man. Like as far as the marriage in the West, prenups in the West, I done seen Tyrese and a couple other dudes prenups fall through. Like, yeah, the prenups are dead. Like freaking this Western marriage is dead, and it's really the person that needs to be held accountable is the victim, the lawmakers. Like, how did you guys make the laws? They got a new law out now where if a guy marries a woman while she has a child, he has to pay child support in the event of divorce. Did y'all hear about that one?
Yes, I heard about it. That you should just cross them off. I would, like I said, don't play. No women with kids. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Because you got to either deal with the ex, the dad.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. No, it's not happening.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So I think 100%. I agree with you, man. Like Western marriages completely failed. I do like the way the Arabs maintain their marriage situation. Like sometimes it's kind of rude, but you can kind of see why, right? Because how crazy things can get. Women can really just become money hungry and be like, I'm here for the money and only the money. And that's actually a sad, sick thing. I really don't know what to say as far as like, I think Western culture is finished completely. There's no coming back for it. Like even in the next 100 years, you're not going to survive it. They got the collapse of the dollar happening at the same time. So it's really not going to come back.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Facts. Absolute facts. Anyone else wanted to chime in on that point? You say something, Joe?
Yeah, I'm Black Muslim, so I know you're out in Western marriage, but would you still be on for the marriage that you had before, like that type of marriage? Because I'm still a little bit curious about how your marriage works, about like essentially negotiating terms of divorce. Like to me, that sounds all fine and well, but it's like if I were to marry, let's say I had a Muslim marriage and we negotiate terms of divorce, and I were to get married here in the States, it doesn't matter what we negotiated. The states have their own laws, and what they say goes. Which is
So
why
technically, the United States government is supposed to let you marriage based off your religion. So Jews are allowed to get married based off their religious beliefs, and so are Christians, and so are Muslims. But you have to. It's a whole lot of stuff you have to do and know ahead of time. It's not like it's not as simple as it should be. And so now you're talking about somebody who knows the law. So it just avoid the entire conversation of doing it in the States. Period. Like anywhere in the West, like France, Europe, or even America, because you're gonna there's some sort of like what they call it, not caveat, but loophole to try to for the woman to try to get the money, like the latest one with Jenny Mai and what's his name, Young Jeezy, like I was pressured into it. I didn't really have a chance to read it all, right? So like don't even waste your time dealing with them, because they're purposefully trying to cause damage. Now, I got married in Morocco, so I don't know if you saw that stream, but it's up there. And in Morocco, like our marriage contract stands, right? And there's no like there's nothing she can do to be like, oh, I'm gonna get more or take more or whatever. There's none of that stuff. There's already Moroccan law that, she takes her wealth and I take my wealth if we get divorced. You know what I'm saying? You should, the husband should be kind to the wife, right? You know what I mean? Like, her mahr wasn't that much. Her dowry wasn't that much. Like, it was really not that much. So I don't have a problem like giving her a house on the way out the door. And there's a reason for that. One of the reasons is sometimes women will jump into another relationship with a man, not because she cares for him or anything like that, but just because she's in need of wealth. And if she already has the wealth, that makes her less likely to deal with other people. And I'm going to tell you how that benefits your child, right? It benefits your child because whoever she deals with is going to have an influence on your child. It's not as direct as, her or you, but it's still an influence. And you want to keep those people out of your sphere of influence when it comes to the building your child, right? Building a better person for tomorrow. So if we did get divorced, I have no problem. Just like houses aren't expensive in Morocco. I can buy her an apartment for $25,000, and then she owns it for the rest of her life. She can give it to her grandkids. So it's not like here in the States where you're just paying infinitely on anything you ever buy.
Yeah, no, I just
Come, bro.
No, I was gonna say that I take it further. Like, yeah, don't get married in the West, but I just don't think you shouldn't get married. Period. I mean, unless you plan on staying in a Muslim theocracy, because that's the only community that I've seen that's willing to fight and put their lives on the line, right, to fight this madness, this debauchery that we call the West. We saw with one country 20 plus years they fought, and I'm sure they were thinking back at the time, they're fighting the most strongest military in the world, thinking, it's fruitless, they're not going to win, and guess what, they won. They're the only people that I've seen so far that have actually fought back this debauchery and actually won. So that's the only way I would consider marriage if I'm moving to a country with like-minded men like that who are willing to give their lives on the line, right, to fight this debauchery. But otherwise, I don't see myself doing it, because even if you're in a country where the laws are good now, right, marriage is an open contract for men. It can change. Like I already gave the example about getting married in the 70s and then having the 80s and no fault divorce.
Wow.
Even country, yeah. You got married in the 70s, and you were able to prove. They used to hire private detectives, right, to prove infidelity. If you were able to prove it, you got nothing. And then Ronald Reagan, and I think Reagan was a great president, or one of the greater presidents that we had recently, even though he was an R word. He ushered that in, and then and you got married thinking that if your wife, committed infidelity, she would get nothing, and guess what? That changed. So even if you're in a country, right, where they support you, what if America changes their laws and says, well, we think you're subjugating these women because, let's say the passport pro movement becomes more popular, right, and they curtail their laws to make it seem like even if you get married in another country, right, you can still get subjugated to the marriage laws, even if you're married abroad. So that would make it so that you would have to either stay in that country and never come back, or you're risking it. So I just see it as far too big of a risk right? And the only reason why I would even consider it, because I personally think that there's no benefit to outside of taxes. And in reality, I make too much in order for me to even care about that minuscule amount that would save in taxes, right? Outside of that, I don't really think there's any benefit to men individually. I do think there's a benefit to your kids, your family upbringing. I don't think I would be the man I was today if it wasn't for the fact that my dad was married to my mom. My dad had other women he was involved with. He did marry another woman, but he didn't stay married to that woman. And I could see the differences in those offspring and I mean, the children that came out of those relationships and ours, right? You know, so it sucks because it feels like I just feel defeated in the sense where it's like I feel like I'm forced to be selfish. But I mean, what choice do we have? What choice do we have?
I agree with you when you say like we don't have much of a choice when it comes to the Western situation, right? I totally agree. But if you have we're passport bros. I mean, I assume that all of us here are passport bros. That's why we're leaving, so we can go somewhere and raise our families in a proper place. Like I would love to. Like I just found blueprints on some stuff in Tanzania. Man, they're building an entire city. I want all of y'all to grab a house next door to me. You know what I'm saying? We can all talk about this conversation, with you and your kids and me and my kids all going to the same schools and doing the same thing. So I do think we do need to eventually get back into a place where we are getting married, right, with women and having our families, because that's the strongest way to build a community. Seriously, like it's never going to get any stronger than that. But right now, no, don't touch the West. That's toxic. That's gonna hurt you. I 100% agree. Until there's more brothers getting this IT with with Theo and IP is teaching us, like, so we all get that and we can all get into one area and we all start building that area up. And then we can go back to having families and everything. You know what I'm saying? I understand a lot of dudes is like, wow, I gotta, meet a lot of women first. But after y'all finish that, okay, y'all find the woman y'all want, let's all move on one block. And it's all, moving to one country and build stuff. I was thinking the other day, like, man, we need to build a resource center where people can come in and use anything, whether it be, some special table cut and saw engineering devices, all types of stuff. We should be able to just come in there. And I'm trying to build a windmill. I need something to build a turbine. Let's 3D print some parts right quick. It should be a thing. But like, I would love to build that with you brothers. You know what I'm saying? All of us living on one block. So that's where marriage gets you to. Marriage gets you to that point where you can start solidly thinking about the community, right? Right now, it's like it's still that individualism that America forced on us, right? We weren't individuals back then, but we are now. And we got to get away from that and start thinking about how we can as a group. Marriage is going to help you, but you got to find the right one. And you just take your time. I'm not rushing y'all into that. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful, make the right decisions. I'm a religious person, so I believe God guides all. You know what I'm saying? So just take your time and get to that point. But when you get to that point, then we need to all link up and build our own school and put our own and build our own street. And you know what I'm saying? Like all these brothers making over 6 figures, man. We can, I'm looking at houses in Tanzania for 120,000, and these things are crazy. I want to show the pictures right now, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many places that we can go in the world and we can all pull up to the same place. And marriage is going to make you, marriage and children change your perspective. You know what I'm saying? And the brothers that have children, they can attest to this. Like, it makes you think differently than you did before you had them. And you want those things to make you more communal based, because the community is how you build nations. You know what I'm saying? Our nation was destroyed, and they knew the only way to attack us was to take the father out the home, drop the crack off so the kids can be messed up. They took our jobs and ran them to China. Now China is a freaking empire. They didn't want us to have the money. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want us to have the money. So they was like, give it to China. China wasn't in this position it was before. It was not even a threat. China was in World War II was the construction workers. They didn't. They disrespected China so much during World War II. They told China, if you guys help build the fences and stuff, we'll give you your land back. They gave the land to Japan. That's how much they disrespected China. Then
China was stepped on.
Yeah, and then they went to then Marcus Garvey went to Liberia and he bought up them rubber plants, and they was like, oh hell no, we can't have this. And then they attacked us with everything they had. They took our jobs and dropped it right off in China. China was like, we're gonna copy and reproduce everything. You know what I'm saying? And so like, that's how much they don't. So the thing, you gotta look at your enemy and be like, what's the thing they attacking the most? They attacking our families the most, and that's what we need to rebuild.
Yep,
Bro.
facts, bro. Hold on, Pooh, how long do you have left, bro? So I respect your time, brother.
I probably got like 10 to 15 minutes left, bro. Well, I guess it just depends on if anyone has any other questions or anything else to add. I am enjoying this conversation, and I just messed around and learned some stuff. And man, it got me thinking right now, like, yeah, even in Confucianism, the family is it's the first building block of the community. It's where you start. That's the building block of the whole country. And yeah, ours indeed has been torn completely down. And it's like we're the only ones that are like that. And now it's like we're running amok and we have to rebuild. So you got me thinking like what I want to do next. What's my next move? But right now, I'm only thinking about myself.
Yeah, it's normal, man.
Feel free to drop up anytime you want to, bro. I know
Okay.
you're in a different time zone, so it's entirely up to you, bro. Shout out to Mr. Marius P for the support. Thank you, brother. We keep forgetting Palimony. They're entitled if you cohabitate. Oh wow, they really want to get after us. Even if we cohabitate, they can come after us.
Yeah, in America they got what they call it what's that thing called, guys? You've been living together for a long time. They just make you the father. Common law marriage. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, man. 10 years, right? 10 years automatic marriage. In all of the laws, marriage. And it all she has to do is have Meryl come to your house. She don't even have to actually be living there. She used her address for 10 years, bro.
It's crazy, man. I don't know why women. I don't know why it's just skewed towards them. It's just. Oh, you want to see something, Mr. Othello?
Oh yes. Pooh, you mentioned the K-pop seemed to have excluded hip hop or rappers. And I've been reading about affirmative action in America currently. Could you expound more on what that is about?
As far as you said, the K-pop.
Yes, you mentioned earlier it excludes African Americans.
Yeah. Remember, everything in Korea is all surface level. It's only skin deep. And that matters more than anything. You still got men out here trying to sell cars and they got foundation on. Everything is skin deep. They're not very, although you can talk to people and you can tell they're deep people, but it's all about the Joneses. It's all about what you see when you initially walk up on somebody. So they got to sell that look of ideal paleness, the ideal Korean is a person that is pale, their hair straight. There's some Koreans that don't have straight hair, bro, but they're not going to be noticed. You got to have a straight nose, and then you got to have a body type that's more European. And then so they package this Korean up, and this person has no real rights. They can't go out and date.
Wow.
They can't do stuff like that. There's a girl, she's getting hammered right now, and they found out she was dating. You can't go out and date and do stuff like that. And then don't forget, Asia is an anti-black place. Yeah, there's places where you're going to be welcomed. But so their ideology, everything's anti-black. It's not pro-white. That's not what I'm saying. But they'll take them on because remember, everything is skin deep. So they're under the impression that, oh, me and this white person, we're more alike because of the skin. Where a white person's like, hell no. A white person knows who they are. They know who you are. That's how they define themselves. They define themselves by looking at you. So Korean people imagine finding a Korean restaurant in a white neighborhood. You won't see it. They'll be in your neighborhood. That's how it is. So, but they see this white person, and they're like, we're more like because our skin is like that. No, it's not, bro. No, it's not. Just like they look at Filipinos worship Koreans, bro. Filipinos, Vietnamese, all the brown Asians worship Koreans, and Koreans mistreat them at every store, every corner, every stop. Mistreat them, look down on them. Yeah, it's this weird elitism. I don't know where they picked this crap up, but I think it has something more to do with like the there's you can see some Western ideology in there from when we came during the Korean War. And then there's also some Japanese imperialism, which this type of Japanese person doesn't even exist anymore. So it's like they have this nationalistic view when it comes to I don't even know that you call that nationalism, bro. It comes to it's blood and race. It's all about them. It's all about them. So they're going to leave us out. You're going to be. This is the most depolicing place I've ever been to in my life. I can't even get shoes without getting depoliced.
Bro, Japanese imperialism is crazy. What the Japanese did to them, and then they take that on. That's like Stockholm syndrome. But go ahead, bro. I just want to say that.
That's exactly what it is. But it's a really twisted relationship they have now. And we okayed that. The Koreans forget. America they recognize Korea as a Japanese colony, but they were like, yo, since you taking Japan, hook us up with the Philippines. And then that was the agreement. And then they also agree with Japan, hey, we don't mind you in China until things got hairy, of course, with with oil and all that. And then the rest is history. But yeah, so
just to jump
everything is anti. Also, one thing is this very anti-black. They're going to be anti-black first. They're on par with each other. Japanese imperialism was all about the Japanese. We are the best. We are the elites. You know what America is all about. People don't think about your black ass when they think about America. They think about what the white man has done. Although America couldn't go forward without us. Couldn't win a war without us. Anyway, go ahead.
Wow. Yes, that's just to bring a quick example. It's the Japanese were like during the imperialism. I think.
Sorry. Hold on. Sorry, brothers. I want to avoid that talk. History obviously it's a bit sensitive, and YouTube obviously did quite terrible things. Let's avoid that.
You might be right on that one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Brother, your mic's a bit jacked up, fellow. If you can fix that, please. American football abroad. We got to do Armenia, bro. ASAP. Are you ready to do another stream American football abroad? Let's touch base with on IG and get Armenia done, please. Let's avoid Japanese Korean history just in case of YouTube. I want to go for another half an hour, max, minimum 15 minutes, and wrap it up. It'll be 3 hours, almost at 3 hours, 30 minutes. It's been a long stream. I am pretty tired, so let's wrap it up soon, please. So if you want to call in and ask questions, call in. But here's what we'll do. We'll do last closing statements, and we will wrap it up. We're at 3 hours, 30 minutes. I think that's been long enough. Albania, yes, Albania, bro. Let's do Albania, American football abroad, please. Let's get it done ASAP, brother. Please. So let's touch base, brother. And how was Hamburg too? How was Hamburg as well? I want to hear your story about Hamburg. All right, so let's do closing statements and let's wrap it up, man. I'm super tired. Mr. VT, do you have any last questions or closing statements, bro? Okay. VT is having his man occupied by a Vietnamese woman. Mr. Muslim, do you have any closing statements, bro?
Yeah, man. Just fellas, man. Just think about the community needs y'all, man. That's it, man. That's all I want to say.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for the support, Black Muslim. Much appreciated, bro. Mr. Let's see, Mr. Jam, do you have any closing statements, bro?
Yeah, Koo, I appreciate you giving us your intel and your experience and your mention in Korea. Like I said, it takes a lot to be that forthcoming, especially with something that personal. I just want to let you know that you are one of the people in this space that I do look up to and I admire. You, Theo, Ramel, obviously IP. I think you guys are solid brothers, and you guys have given me motivation and courage. To be able to move in this journey. So I'm actually I'm living abroad full term in 2 weeks time, and I've been planning this out for a year, listening to you guys. Keeping motivation, and it's it's finally coming to fruition. So just know that you giving your testimony, right, your feedback, giving brothers advice, it doesn't go unwarranted. There are people who are acting on this. I know you said before, Pooh, you say all the brothers who you say it's essentially like the brothers who will do it because you think most won't. Well, I'm one. You're talking to one right now. You inspired one that is actually in the process of doing so right now. So thank you.
That's what's up, bro.
Where are you moving to? Is that Thailand, Brazil?
Second one, Brazil. I'm going to be living abroad, so I'm not moving to one country per se. I'm just going to stay in a country for a while. I plan on staying in each country for 3 to 6 months, and if I really like someplace, then I'll settle roots. But I like Brazil. I like Brazil a lot. I was there for 2 months. I really liked Rio. I know there's a lot of problems in Brazil that I mentioned in our stream. But I'm not looking for a wife right now. I'm just trying to look for a better lifestyle in Brazil. At that right now at this moment is meaning that. So but like I said, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have the courage to do so. I wouldn't even have the intel. I wouldn't have the courage to go on the plane. I didn't leave the U.S. until it hasn't been a year since I've left the U.S. For the first time in I've already visited 7-8 countries and lived abroad for I believe over close to 9 months of the last 12. That's
awesome.
That's for you guys. So I just Pooh, I appreciate your feedback. I'm telling you, there's people listening, and there's people who are actually taking this forward to change their own lives. So
thanks, Jam. Much appreciated, bro. All right, thank you, Jam. So, brothers, go and follow me on Kick, please. There's the link is in the live stream chat, and go and follow me on Rumble too. So Rumble and Kick, I'm officially on those platforms. So go and follow me on there, please. Mr. Othello, do you have any closing statements?
Okay, yes. What I would just say is what I've peeped from how things are developing in the world. I think the global architect, in the same way we look at America Atlantic, the Northeast was developed, industrialized, and the Southeast of America was more plantation economy. I see the global architect constructing the same situation in Asia Pacific. And we hear a lot now about the US and China tech war. My advice to passport bros is just to stay neutral and try and eke out an advantage from this situation. Because just stay neutral and eke out an advantage from the situation. That's just all I have to say.
Okay. Thanks for that, fellow. I appreciate it, bro. Okay, Mr. Pooh, Starman today. Thank you, brother, for your time. Much appreciated, Pooh. Any closing statements, but before we let you go?
No, man. I agree with my man who just said that. Yes, staying neutral. There's more than one way at the top of the mountain. I know there's some of us who may not be into IT, but there's more than one way. And IP has talked about it before to get this done. Whether it be you're a recruiter or you're in sales or whatever, you can work remotely and you can leave, but you got to be committed to yourself. Number one, committed to your health, your mind, invest in yourself, and then have the courage to make a move and make sure that it's you're well informed on where you can go. And choose something that's for you, for your own peace of mind. I am not going to call it happiness. Happiness only lasts so long, and happiness is under your control. So somewhere you can be, where you can flourish and be at peace finally, and not have this type of stress. That's my main message, man. Yeah, it's a brand new game. I know we stressed this whole thing about women in this passport space. You won't hear me talk about it too much anymore. I'm way too focused on what I'm doing and what I'm building, and hoping that you guys are focused and disciplined enough to focus on yourself and build your own kingdom, man. Honestly.
Wow, Mr. Pooh, thank you for your time, bro.
No problem, bro.
Much appreciated. May you crush the divorce proceedings, brother, and gain everything you want from it, and I think you definitely will. So, and upwards and onwards from you. May you find another good woman, brother, much better than your ex-wife, and may she not be a fraud. I'm wishing the best and absolute best for you, Pooh. Keep your head up, bro. It's only better days for you onwards, man. So thanks for that. So, brothers, great live stream. What was I gonna say? Thanks for the support, the super chats, the PayPal donation from Shinobu, much appreciated, and all the likes and everything else. It's been a fascinating live stream. Like I said, this channel doesn't aim to just tell you, what you want to hear. We're gonna tell you the good, bad, and ugly, and I've done that since the very inception of this channel. There may be another good stream about South Korea a month from now, 5 months from now. Maybe a brother went there, had a different experience than Pooh. We'll speak about it. We'll get the guy on the channel. We're going to give a good overall perspective on everything that we can. Okay, so what was I going to say? Keep supporting the channel, right? Please support. Look out for more content, and no country is immune to getting bad intel from. If Japan is messing up, if what's it called? What country? If Brazil's messing up, we're gonna speak about it. Or if Brazil and Japan are suddenly doing good, we're gonna speak about it too. If South Korea, if a brother went to South Korea next week and he came back and said they had a great time there, we're gonna speak about it. So no country is immune to bad news, good news, or ugly news. We're gonna break it down. But from what I hear about South Korea, I'm not too fascinated about it. It's quite low on my list. I went there myself. Just West 2.0. Didn't like what I was seeing over there. I'm sure the women are better than American chicks, but please take Pooh's word for it, for what it is. Dating women there, be very careful and vet extremely well. Okay, so before we wrap up, in the last 2 minutes, what country and what city is everyone listening in from? If you want to come on the channel and share your travel perspective, send me a DM on Instagram. I will get you on the channel. Okay, I'll put you on the list to get some content and some interviews from y'all. Okay, to share the intel for brothers. So DM me on Instagram, International Passport. Here's my Instagram on the screen. Okay. The plan is to every country on planet Earth. Would I do it? Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? Fucking hell, man. Fuck's sake. No countries. All right. Peace out. Yeah. Take it easy, brothers.